Good evening, thank you very much and welcome here to Cusick Park in Ennis. It is round 4 of the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. Moving round, dare we say. All 12 teams to start the competition mathematically are still in contention, but based on today's results, we could lose 2 teams this year. It's Clare against Dublin. It's a game that both teams need to win. Certainly the host, after 1 point in 3 games, they have to get a victory today to have any pathway through to the quarterfinals. Dublin will have the reprieve of another opportunity next week, but if they pick up the victory today, they will be in pole position to get a quarter-final spot. It really is a game to look forward to, and we'll bring you every puck of the ball. I'm Darren Kelly, joined here by Elaine Aylward, who'll be in the commentary box with me. And Elaine, again, like we're saying this every week now, it's a cup final feeling to this game.
Yeah, look, it's Group 1 all over again, and all these games are knockout games, because we've said it all along from the start of this championship. Any team can beat any team on any given day, and look, it's going to be really interesting to see now what Clare and Dublin can bring today after having the break. You know, Dublin coming off huge momentum from their performance against Cork. Alright, they didn't get the victory, but dominated large portions of that game, so they'll have huge confidence in that. As you said, Clare struggling coming towards the end of their last game. I suppose that 6 weeks run fresh in everyone's mind, so they've had 2 weeks off now to recover, regroup, and it's going to be really interesting to see what they can bring to this home game today.
It's what Clare have learned in those 2 weeks is going to be very important as well, because a lot of excitement about their Munster Championship run, the 2 extra times against Cork, even the first day the draw against Tipperary, but then the 2 losses since, the last day in particular against Wexford. They're bottom of the table, but it's still in their own hands. If they can get 2 wins starting today, of course, they can sneak into the final 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and I suppose all the talk was about Clare for a lot of those 6 weeks, and yet when you look at the championship table, as you said, they're bottom of it with 1 point to show for it. So look, I suppose their championship really kick-starts again today. They'll have been very disappointed to lose that home game to Wexford by 1 point and really put themselves bottom of that group after all the 6 weeks of hurling that they've done. But as you said, their championship can start again today, and look, a victory here today and it sets them up really now for the next game again to finish off the championship really, really strongly.
And of course, as I mentioned, all the talk about Clare between the 6 weeks, whatever day this game is going to be played and all that crack, nobody's talking about Dublin, and they started the day in 3rd place.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, they've gone about their work just really, really economically this year. They've put in big performances the days they've needed to put them in. They've got the wins today. Look, their opening round win over Waterford was a really crucial one when you look back at the games now and how other results have gone and how Waterford have paired back into this championship. So they're a real key 3 points for Dublin, and I suppose it puts them in a lovely position, as you said, coming in, no real talk about them, and yet they've pushed the All-Ireland finalists from last year, Cork, really, really hard in their last game. So huge momentum with them. So it'll be interesting to see if they can have maintained that for the last 2 weeks and if they can bring that same level to here today to Ennis.
And I said at the intro as well that, you know, all 12 teams will mathematically in the competition, but of course people might know yet Tipperary coming from behind to beat Wexford already today. Waterford are playing Cork. That's a half-5 throw-in, but if Dublin were to get the victory today, they would put both Wexford and Clare out of the championship.
Yeah, it's been, look, as I said, this group has just been an unbelievable group, and that results have changed things, and it's been a different team in pole position nearly, well, 2nd and 3rd position every week as current the results have gone, and that's a huge win for Tip today against Wexford. You know, probably against the odds a little bit given how their championship has gone to date, but look, they've picked up 3 points there today along with their 2 draws, and that throws them right back into it with a final showdown against Cork in the last weekend.
Dublin are missing Niamh Gannon. She went off injured the last day against Cork. It's a massive loss for themselves as well. And of course Clare, they've been dealing with low numbers, trying to get through their run of games at the moment. Their squad are going to be very important here.
Yeah, it will be very important, and look, I think Clare would have found that out coming towards the end of that 6 weeks run. You know, we saw down in Cork and Parky Ring a little bit of tiredness setting in, a little bit of cramps, small niggling injuries that you just don't get a chance to rest when you're out week on week for 6 weeks. So they'll have 2 weeks, have had 2 weeks now to try and rectify some of those issues and maybe get the best team back on the field in 100% condition today. Similar to Dublin, look, as you said, Niamh Gannon, a huge loss for them. Really, really key player all through the year for both colleges and coming straight through into the Dublin setup. She's a real, you know, direct runner at the heart of that Dublin attack. So look, they'll miss her, but Kerry Finnegan came on the last day and did massive work there, so expect to see her get some game time. And look, it's something Adrian O'Sullivan has been building on, I think, since he went to Dublin, is building a panel, and look, I suppose today is a good day to test that.
Can you call it?
No. Can you call anything in this group this year, Darren? Group 1 has just been, as I said, it's the group that just keeps on giving. One result throws another team back up into 2nd or 3rd position and knocks someone else down. So look, it's a really, really difficult one, but it is going to be a massive game.
And we're looking forward to every puck of the ball already. Clare have beaten Waterford in the Glen Dimplex Premier Junior All-Ireland Championship 3-16 to 2 points. Can it be a banner double here in Ennis, or will Dublin do what they've been doing already and keep the scoreboard ticking, keep the points on the board and put themselves in the mix? We're looking forward to it. All coming up shortly. We'll get some pre-match thoughts beforehand. Delighted to be joined now by the Clare joint senior Camogie manager Conor Dolan. And Conor, first things first, you must have been delighted to have a week off last week.
Yeah, look, it was well overdue. 6.5 games in 5 weeks. Look, it was tough going, but look, we're in the business end of the season, so we just have to take what comes our way now.
It's been time for the players to recuperate a little bit, but how have they been over that last week and a half,
Yeah,
2
look,
weeks?
come here, in fairness, the girls they've given us everything in the last 2 months and beyond. But look, last week was massive. We'd probably 6 training sessions done in 6 weeks. With all the games we were having, was all rest and recoup. But look, they're back in good form again, and hopefully push on again now today.
The table at the start of the day might look for grim reading if you're a Clare supporter, but of course the pathway is still there for you. It's just about getting the 2 results you need.
Yeah, look, the bottom line is we have to get over today first of all. If we don't, that's our year more or less finished. But get over today, and look, everything goes on. The Waterford game is winner takes all against Waterford in 2 weeks' time.
Clare had a good record against Dublin recently, but it counts for very little. The two teams are very, very close.
Yeah, look, Dublin they're on a bit of a wave at the minute. Okay, they're going well. They really put it up against Cork the last day. And look, we're expecting a massive battle out of them. We're taking nothing for granted, but we know it's a must-win game for us.
And Conor, finally, any injury concerns of note?
No, going as programme. So look, fingers crossed the girls show up and give it their all.
Best luck, Conor. Thanks a million.
Darren.
Delighted to be joined now by the Dublin senior Camogie manager Adrian O'Sullivan. Adrian, there's a lot of talk about Clare recently. Dublin quietly getting about their business.
Yeah, haven't really heard any talk about Clare, but we'll be focusing on ourselves. I think in this group you can't really be too worried about trying to predict what's going to happen, because just the results are so all over the place. All you can do is just focus on putting in a performance every day, and I think regardless of what happens in today's games, everybody's going to be in the mix going down to the last round anyway. So it's just seeing how many points you have on the board and then going for it in the last round. That's it really, isn't it?
It's been a positive start for Dublin, a win, a draw and a credible performance against last year's All-Ireland finalists.
Yeah, we've done okay. I suppose, look, the win down in Waterford was, I suppose looking at the results that have happened since, it's retrospectively it's a massive win. You know, Waterford have been in great form since, so we took great confidence from how they've done after we beat them down there. And look, we had 2 really, really tough games then after that, so we were glad of the break for the last fortnight, no more so than Clare, who had 5 or 6 games in a row there as well. So there's a different energy around today. You can feel a bit of a nervous tension and a bit of a buzz in the dressing room area between both teams. So I'd say it'll be high energy stuff today now. Yeah, because even though, as we say, you have 4 points in the bank, we're really down to cup final spots now, and the tightest group probably ever in the Camogie Championship. Yeah, look, I suppose a lot of pundits will say that it's a boring championship show every year. There's only 3 teams involved, but look, there's every team in the group will be looking up and down the table going into the last round. So I don't think you could ask for anything tighter than that. So look, I presume for the neutrals it's great entertainment. For those involved, maybe not so much, but a few greys coming a bit prematurely. But yeah, look, it's fantastic. It's been so competitive. The games have been brilliant, great quality as well. So looking as a product, it's been great for Camogie. But look, I don't mind if we win a stinker of a game today, as long as we get 3 points on the board, to be honest.
You've had 2 changes, one of them enforced. Niamh Gannon now injured?
Yeah, Niamh picked up an injury very early in the Cork game, so look, she's a big loss. She's a key player, you know. That's the joys of it. If you're going to play 5 games in 6 or 7 weeks, these things are going to happen, and that's why you have a squad, and we just operate a next player in policy, and that's it. The next player in gets the jersey and they'll go and do the job, and that's it. We won't complain about it. Every team is the same, you know.
That's their opportunity. Adrian, best luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers. That was the Dublin senior Camogie manager Adrian O'Sullivan, and beforehand you heard from Conor Dolan, joint manager of Clare. It's Clare against Dublin in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. Not quite winner takes all, but certainly if you're a Clare supporter, leave with nothing, and the championship is over. Elaine, again, as we said at the very, very start, we're watching the 2 teams warming up here off screen at the moment, but really excitement about this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think both teams have had their 2-week rest now, and they've come back from different fortunes. You know, as I said, Dublin, after having that really good performance against Cork, where they dominated for large periods of the game and pushed Cork all the way, so huge confidence there. They probably would have been happy enough to go the weekend after on that, coming in on that positive note. Whereas Clare, as I said, on the back of those 6 weeks, and look, really coming out of those opening games with just 1 point for all the hurling that they'd done. So really desperate, I suppose, for that 2-week break, and it'll be interesting to see now how they've recovered, how they've regrouped, and what they're really going to bring to Championship 2022 today.
Well, they've named the same starting 15 that played against Wexford 2 weeks ago. We'll have a look at the Clare team now. In goal, number 1, Doireann Murphy. Full back line of 2, Ciara Grogan. 3, the joint captain, Claire Hare. And 4 is Susan Daly. The half back line were number 5, Aoife Keane. Centre back number 6 is Chloe Morey. And 7 is Alana Ryan. In midfield were number 8, the other joint captain, Niamh O'Dea. Partner number 9, Caoimhe Kelly. The half forward line 10, Caoimhe Carmody. 11, Emer Kelly. And 12 is Linda Daly. And the inside line, top of the right, number 13, Ora Duggan. Full forward, number 14, Lorna McNamara. And top of the left were number 15, Sian Spillane. Elena was looking beforehand too. Clare have only used 19 players in the championship so far. They really are working off a small pool.
Yeah, and even looking through the warm-up there today, I think I just counted 19 players in their warm-up, so it is like a small pool to be working off, especially as you said when they did have to go, and I know we keep saying it, but those 6 weeks in a row, if you're looking to the same 19 players for those 6 weeks, it's hard to recover within the week and get going again for another championship game. So look, it may only be 19 players today, but they've had 2 weeks off now, so I think they can put all those be the excuses or whatever to rest here today. They've had the 2 weeks and they're coming with the full panel that they have, but as you said, 19 is a small panel to be working off at senior intercounty level.
We'll see if that week has been enough for Clare. Dublin have made 2 changes from their last game against Cork. Niamh Gannon, as we mentioned earlier on, out injured. Ali Toomey also doesn't start. Coming into the team for them is number 5, Cleena Nicoletti, and number 10, Emma Flanagan. Their team in full: goal number 1, Ava Mooney. Full back line of 2, Roisin Baker. 3, Eve O'Brien. And 4 is Mirren Kelleher. The half back line were number 5, Cleena Nicoletti. Centre back number 6 is the captain, Hannah Hegarty. And 7 is Emma O'Byrne. In midfield were number 8, Leah Butler. Partner number 9, Gabby Couch. The half forward line: 10, Emma Flanagan. 11, Aisling Maher, she's the vice captain. And 12 is Jodie Couch. Inside line, top of the right, number 13, Elise Jameson Murphy. Full forward, number 14, Aisling O'Neill. And top of the left were number 15, Izzy Davis. Adrian O'Sullivan has used 22 players for Dublin in the campaign so far. Interesting to see what way they will set up. Izzy Davis, often known as a defender, she wears 15.
Yeah, wears 15, so you'd wonder, is she going to come out around the middle of the field and act as that spare player out around there for Dublin? But as you said, look, really established throughout this championship, I think, right from Eve O'Brien through Hannah Hegarty. Niamh Gannon, obviously a huge loss at centre forward. Aisling Maher named at 11 today, and look, she's had a huge championship for Dublin so far, so they'll expect more of that from her today. And I think how Clare deal with her, and if she does start at 11, if she does tend to roam around the field, I think someone needs to pick her up that day in Waterford. I suppose she had the freedom of Welsh Park and came away with player of the match on that occasion, so whoever picks her up from a Clare point of view is going to have to do a tight man marking job on her for the day.
I certainly hope it is Aisling Maher against Chloe Morey. That's a match I would love to see here.
Absolutely, yeah. 2 huge players, both for their respective teams, and look, none of them willing to give an inch, I suppose. So it would be a massive lineup. But and look, if Aisling Maher does float out the field, Chloe Morey well capable of following her out there and popping up for a score or 2 from distance from herself. So look, Clare will have players all over the field that are capable of going toe to toe with Dublin. I think it's just the collective today, what they can bring as a team versus what Dublin can bring as a team.
It's lovely and sunny here in Cusack Park in Ennis. Conditions absolutely ideal for Camogie. Now there is a stiff enough breeze here. We're just trying to get a sense of it at the moment, and we were looking at the coin toss beforehand. The referee for this game is John Dermody from Westmeath. Looks like Dublin won the toss. Hannah Hegarty pointed to the right, so I think they'll have the slight wind in the first half. Yeah,
probably not felt so much up at the level we're at here today in the commentary box, but certainly down on the pitch there was a little bit of a breeze blowing from left to right as we look at it, so I think that's going to have an impact on the game.
Now, I'm not too sure if we're having a minute's silence beforehand or we're waiting for a Ron Devine. It's just gone very, very quiet. So I'm just trying to have a listen there. But of course, while we wait for a Ron Devine when it comes, we think of the family of Damien Casey and Tyrone and the tragic news we woke up to this morning. At the end of the day, male, female, big ball, small ball, we are all a GAA family here. But a Ron Devine is playing lowly in the background, so we'll go to that. It might have been the quietest Ron Devine ever, but it was impeccably healthy as well. Elaine, just taking that point as well, Damien Casey, and that tragic news we heard this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, as you said, we're all a GAA family. Whoever a tragedy like that occurs, I think it affects everybody and it hits everyone, especially given the starring role he had with the Tyrone hurlers this year. And as you said, just a tragic loss at such a young age, and just deepest sympathies to the GAA family in Tyrone and the GAA family, his own family all over the country.
Yes, Verana Moosel, may Damien rest in peace. We are here for the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship Dublin. As you can see on your screen at the moment, our manager Adrian O'Sullivan in the middle. They are on 4 points from 3 games. They were in third position starting this morning. Tipperary have overtaken them after their 15 points to 111 victory over Wexford. But if Dublin win this game today, they'll be back into the top 3. Could well be in second place depending on what happens between Waterford and Cork. But with Clare in 1 point and Wexford also on 3 points, Dublin have a chance to put 2 teams out of the championship.
Yeah, it's a massive game for Dublin. And look, I think Adrian was probably playing it down a little bit beforehand, saying, he hadn't heard any talk from Clare and that they were coming quietly enough about their business into it. But look, it is a huge game for them. And I suppose how they react to that pressure, he said it himself, looking back on that Waterford game, was a massive victory for them, given how Waterford have gone on in the rest of the championship and the way they've performed. So I think there were 3 really vital points for Dublin, and it really set them up then for the run of games, as I said, coming back on the back of a really, really positive performance against Cork in their last outing. So they'll look to carry that in today. And look, I think a quick start is what they'll be looking for. Try and put Clare to the sword as soon as they can and start racking on the points from there.
Well, it's a very interesting positional switch from Clare there. Elaine will tell us about it in a moment, where we're keeping an eye on the referee John Dermody there in Dublin, attacking the goal to the right. But Elaine, you might have spotted there, Chloe Morey's gone into full forward.
Chloe Morey's gone into full forward. Hannah Hegarty for Dublin has gone into left corner back. So positional switches all over. Maybe Dublin expecting Hannah to get free into that position back there as the sweeper position, but certainly the switch of Chloe to full forward is a big talking point.
Well, that's happened at the moment there off screen. We're focusing on the action around the 65 metre line. Dublin attacking the goal to the right. They have the slight breeze in their favour in the first half as the first launch down in towards the attack, and the Clare defence, and whoever fills in the number 6 position will have to be careful. Clare here is the captain of Clare. She's a joint captain, I should say. She scored a goal against Cork, gets the pass over the direction of Susan Daly, one of 2 triplets on the field of play here today, representing the Banner County, the host, who need to win this game to stay in the championship. And a long ball launched down by Aoife Keane in towards the attack, and number 13 is Orla Duggan with a crossfield ball in the direction of Lorna McNamara. Lorna McNamara just trying to hold off the Dublin defence at the moment. They are staying very, very tight, and good work from Dublin there I thought they'd overturn possession, but Clare still have the ball. Orla Duggan will have a shot at the post, a block down there on that occasion by the Dublin captain Hannah Hegarty, and the visitors have the ball, hand passing it around the 13 metre line, and will try and move it out the field of play. And that's good defending from Dublin. Cleena Nicoletti has won an All-Ireland already this year, won for Naig Jew the All-Ireland Junior Football Championship back in January. In midfield is Leah Butler. She played in defence in the win against Waterford, gives the pass off in the direction of Elise Jemison Murphy, and she gives it to the white helmet and the white boots of Aisling Maher, who has had 2 Player of the Match awards this year from various different organisations. Long ball down from Leah Butler, one of them was us, into the hands of the goalkeeper Doireann Murphy, and Doireann Murphy sends it out towards the right too. So end to end in the early stages.
Absolutely, and both sets of defences being called on in early days, but great composure from both sets of defences in that, coming out, working the ball out, and no panic clearances.
Caoimhe Carmody coming up the field there, the number 10 with the Dublin colours in her helmet. Maybe that's to honour their opponents today, who knows, but either way it's going to be a free for Clare, and it's going to be taken by Clare here just inside her own 65 metre line. No score in the game so far, just over 2 minutes gone, and can Clare here set up her team for the first score? Good long drive down towards the Dublin full back line, and the Dublin need to be careful. Roisin Baker, who was a midfielder in the 2021 championship, now playing corner back, but she's lost possession. Clare win it back. The pass in the direction of Emer Kelly. Emer Kelly's got a few scores in the championship so far, got 3 the last day against Cork, into the hands of the goalkeeper Ava Mooney, and Ava Mooney adjudged to being fouled by the referee.
Yeah, judged to be fouled in there, and you've just seen the last 2 shots from Clare drop short, so you just wonder about the significance of that breeze. It was picking up and dying down when we were out there, so whether it's particularly strong at the minute. But Dublin have withdrawn a lot of players out the field. They have only 2 inside that Clare 45 metre line at the moment, and it does look like the midfielder Caoimhe Kelly from Clare is the one that is filled into that full back line.
Good work from Clare there. Alana Ryan originally breaking down a ball involved there was Aoife Keane as well. They've managed to keep Dublin inside their own 45 metre line, but Aisling Maher coming back to help out and leaving 2 players inside. Long dangerous ball in towards the attack, and the Clare defence will have to be careful. They deal with it again on this occasion and will bring it out towards the 65 metre line through Ciara Grogan out the far side, but Aisling Maher sells the dummy, wins back possession for Dublin between the 2 65 metre lines down towards the left, and this is an opportunity for Dublin to create something through Izzy Davis, who is playing in the inside line as well. I thought she'd be one of the positional switches.
No, she's not. She's inside in that 2-person full forward line, but as I said, Dublin totally withdrawn back out the field, and only 2 players on occasion inside that Clare 45 metre line. And to credit to Clare, they've dealt reasonably well with anything that has gone in there so far, but unlucky just for Caoimhe Kelly to concede the free on this occasion, and a chance for Aisling Maher to get Dublin off the mark.
3 minutes and 45 seconds gone. Aisling Maher has scored 113 in the championship so far, and now inside the 45 metre line, definitely within her range distance wise, but give us a good judge of the wind. Can she get Dublin off the mark here in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship? So Aisling Maher, the vice captain of Dublin. It goes very, very quiet here. Respect being given to the free taker. She takes the free for Dublin, has the power on it. Is it accurate enough? I don't think it will be. It goes out to the left and wide. First big scoring chance of the game missed.
Yeah, and it was a nicely taken free. It was nice and low and trajectory wise, but just never really got under it to get the distance across the goal, and drifted harmlessly enough wide out to the left hand side.
Caoimhe Kelly, wearing number 9, back in the left corner back position that she played in the first 2 games of the championship against Tipperary and against Cork, wins the free, and Clare Hare is going to come back and take this inside the 20 metre line, and she'll be taking her time as well. She was one person, Elaine, we're having a bit of banter about in Cork too, and definitely the week off she benefited too. She had to go off briefly too in the last game against Wexford as well, but she'll be a driving force for Clare.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I suppose she's a huge name in Clare Camogie over the years, and brought huge performances. And even that day in Cork when things weren't particularly going Clare's way, she fought right to the bitter end and finished with that superb goal.
The 2 number 11s battled there, but it's the Dublin number 11 who wins, and her name is Aisling Maher, sending it down towards Aisling O'Neill, who's been their top scorer from play in the championship so far. 7 in total. She holds the ball, sends it into space, but there's no sky blue jersey there, and Clare will have a chance to clear the ball again through their joint captain down in towards the attack as the hosts look to take advantage of the Dublin defence, but Dublin working very, very hard. Gabby Couch in the yellow helmet in the middle of all that, free out for Dublin.
Yeah, Orla Duggan just failed to control it. Nice ball into her in space. She'd done well to gain a couple of yards and got out ahead of the defender, but first touch just left her down a little bit, afforded the opportunity for the ball to spill back out, and as you said, Gabby Couch in on it quickly, won the free, and a chance for Dublin now to get on the attack.
So Dublin getting ready to restart the action, and the free taken by Emma Flanagan down in towards the attack as well, and this might work out nicely for Adrian O'Sullivan's charges. One there by Aisling O'Neill on the right hand side, trying to get herself within range, size to play one in the direction of Izzy Davis, has support there as well from Jodie Couch if she wants to use her. Didn't get the pass off. Clare, I mentioned about the Dublin defence working hard. Clare doing likewise too, getting the bodies back as well and moving the ball out the field, and this is a good bit of movement at the moment from Clare, and it was well worked by Niamh O'Dea. Niamh O'Dea leaves it off for Emer Kelly. Emer Kelly turns back on her right hand side, looks around, spots a player free. That player is Caoimhe Carmody. Caoimhe Carmody thought about going for a score, sent it down towards the corner. Maybe she should have taken the first option, but Lorna McNamara would try and win possession against Roisin Baker. Lorna McNamara down in the corner, trying to turn the corner back for Dublin, holds onto the ball. Support is arriving there as well. 2 options. She picks Orla Duggan. Orla Duggan will turn to the left. Will she go for a shot at the post? Did hit the ball in towards the inside line, didn't quite get the power on it that she wanted, and Dublin battling hard as Linda Daly tries to create a bit of space for Clare, but it's back in Dublin hands again, and they'll bring it out towards the 45 metre line. The ball played right into space as well, and Clare will have to do this again through Clare Hare if she can control the ball, because Jodie Couch is there to apply the pressure, but Clare Hare turns away from her, goes in the run. 2 players tangle off the ball, nothing malicious in it. They both get on with the play, and Clare Hare is getting on towards the 65 metre line. She did well there and wins the free.
Really, really well, considering she was under pressure from when she won that ball back just inside her own 65, and did really, really well to win it under pressure, and then had to carry it the whole way out. She was under pressure the whole time, and to Dublin they had most of the hard work done there before they eventually gave away the free. So needless enough free to concede. Clare Hare was just running out of options at the time, but super run from her to follow on from the super run from Niamh O'Dea before that.
She's just getting some attention there at the moment, and a chance for an impromptu water break for a few players on the field to play. Temperature dropping here in Ennis. It's still very, very sunny, and as soon as I say that, it looks like the sun is trying to break through some of the clouds over here in Clare. Clare Hare is back at her feet, but it's Chloe Morey that is going to take this free. It's 7 minutes, nearly 8 minutes gone in the contest. We've no score in the game so far. Clare no score, Dublin no score. I don't think a draw certainly won't suit Clare in a way, but I don't think a draw will benefit Dublin too much on it, because they'll lose that control of a top 3 spot. Chloe Morey getting ready to take this free. Can this be the first score of the game? She's gotten a point from a free in every game of the championship so far. Will it be 4 out of 4? It's going to be close, but unfortunately for Chloe Morey, the ball goes to the left and right.
Yeah, certainly had the distance on that one, even into the breeze, but just didn't quite have the accuracy on it. It was from her own 65 against the breeze, as I said, so a little bit of nervousness, I think, maybe from both free takers starting off.
Emma O'Byrne with the ball down the left, lays it off in the direction of Gabby Couch, and she's trying to pick out a pass for Emma Flanagan. And Emma Flanagan in possession with the green helmet, touches it along the ground looking for Aisling Maher, and Aisling Maher has managed to turn the marker and goes in a run. A bit of space open up here for Dublin. Aisling Maher surely will go for a shot at the post. The umpires look at it, they like it. It's taken nearly 9 minutes, but the first score in the match has come. It's come from Aisling Maher, 1-0 to Dublin.
Yeah, and it's a great strike from play from her on the run. A super point down that left hand wing. Did really, really well to beat Aoife Keane on the first occasion. I think probably played the hurl a little bit and used all her experience there to get it in ahead of the defender, get on the run, but a super strike from distance.
Super strike from distance. Good puck out there from Duran Murphy out towards the middle of the field. Of course, she was nominated for Player of the Year, Player of the Month, I should say, for May 2022. That award went to Waterford's Lorraine Bray. Ashley O'Neill with the ball, lays it off for Leah Butler. Leah Butler decides to go and have a run at these Clare defenders, gives a pass off, a bit of hesitation from Jodie Couch, but then she gives it back to Aisling Maher. Aisling won't hesitate, she'll go for another shot at the post, and Aisling Maher, that goes to the right and wide. I was just teeing her up for the score.
Yeah, and it looked like she was going to add that second one straight in quick succession, but credit to Clare. They're putting massive pressure on Dublin around the middle of the field, and look, Aisling Maher is one of those players that's always going to pop up in really good positions, as she did again on that occasion.
Alana Ryan ran into a cul-de-sac there, but thankfully for Clare, Nevo D has the ball, tries to play a high one in the direction of Caoimhe Carmody. Two players collide. Gabby Couch is saying it was accidental, but the referee's going to have a chat with her. It's going to be a free for Clare.
Yeah, I think Caoimhe Carmody had enough put on the ball to take it away from Gabby Couch, and Gabby probably had enough time to avoid that tackle and didn't, and I think is going to find herself in the referee's book at an early stage in this game.
Caoimhe Carmody is okay, but Gabby Couch is having a chat with the official, gets the yellow card in this contest. And of course, Caoimhe Carmody was an ascension through the Clare ranks she's had in the last couple of years, called into the junior panel and the senior panels last year, and of course getting an opportunity with the seniors this year and holding her own. It's going to be Clare Hare right in front of us here in the commentary box in Cusack Park in Ennis that is going to take this free. Her side yet to score in the game. It's Dublin 1 point, Clare no score. Clare Hare taking the free and sending it down towards enemy territory, in towards the attack, looking for the break to one of the players, but it breaks from Muireann Kelleher. Muireann Kelleher couldn't get control of the ball. The referee says it was touched on the ground. Free in for Clare, surely the equaliser.
Yeah, and just great pressure there again from Clare and from Emer Kelly on that occasion. Just got the hurl in as Dublin were trying to rise the ball, and quick reactions, just touched it on the ground and right in front of John Darmody's face, I suppose, and as you said, a chance now for Clare to equalise.
Lorna McNamara has scored 114 in the championship so far, and this should bring her up to 18 points in total. She takes the free. The umpires like it. 11 minutes gone. It's Clare a point, Dublin a point.
Yeah, it's taken a while for them both to get on the scoreboard, but they're there now. You'd imagine any kind of nervousness to be gone out of the game. They've both settled into it, so we expect to see a little bit more free-flowing hurling, maybe a couple of more scores.
Good long drive down the field, but not for Dublin. It lands into the hands of Aoife Keane. Aoife Keane with the green helmet sends it down, just over hits the pass for Emer Kelly, and won by the captain of Dublin, Hannah Hegarty. Lays the pass off for Roisin Baker. Roisin Baker moves up towards the 65-metre line, trying to find Elise Jemison Murphy or Aisling Maher. Either will do, but the former might get this ball yet, and Clare haven't dealt with this fully, and good work by Elise Jemison Murphy, but will it be enough? No, because Nemo D had it back for Clare, gives it to Caoimhe Carmody, and Caoimhe Carmody with a hand pass into the direction of Sian Spillane, who's come out towards the middle third to get involved with the action. Indeed, she started on the 40, but it's Clare Hare pushing forward, sending a nice ball in front of Lorna McNamara. If she can win this race here for Clare, Lorna McNamara goes to ground. Hannah Hegarty keeping tight again and wins the ball back for Dublin, gives the hand pass off, and the danger averted for the Dubs in this occasion, and it's back with Elise Jemison Murphy moving up towards the Dublin 65-metre line. Open space here of Cusack Park. It's a much bigger ground than many people give it credit for. Aisling Maher is moving towards the 45. She's getting within range again, not afraid to have a pop. Aisling Maher with the shot, comes off the upright. Might break here for Izzy Davis. Izzy Davis and an opportunity for Dublin. Can she get it? The challenge was put in, and no foul. Play continues on, and Clare have had to deal with that. I think it's Susan Daly, the player that brings the ball out the fields, and all of a sudden, Elaine, we nearly had something major.
Yeah, it's like everything. We've waited for scores for a long time. We nearly had a major on that occasion, and the Dublin dugout certainly underneath us to our left here certainly thought that we're entitled to a penalty on that occasion. The Clare went on our right hand side defending it stoutly, but Clare get away with it. But it just goes to show, another fine shot from out the field from Aisling Maher off the post, and Izzy Davis quickest to react.
Those little breaks can be massive, but Clare have managed to get the ball out between the 45 and the 65 metre line as Clare here sends the pass in towards the direction of Linda Daly. Didn't happen for on that occasion, but it's still going to happen for Clare and happen for Emer Kelly. Emer Kelly on the move there, trying to shake off the hands of the Dublin defender who would have the hands out. It's going to be a free in for Clare. Emer Kelly wins that foul. She's going to receive some attention as well. A bit stop-start at the moment, but Lorna McNamara will be next in play.
Yeah, look, I think Emer Kelly probably had to win that free twice or three times before she actually got it. Had advantage from the first one from Emma Flanagan, but carried on again, and it was eventually taken down closer to the 45. So I suppose a more favourable position for Lorna McNamara now from the free.
Emma Flanagan has received a yellow card as well, so 2 yellow cards for Dublin in the very early stages in the game. How significant will that be as this contest continues on? We've played nearly 14 minutes here in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship, and it's 1 point apiece. Lorna McNamara with a free for Clare. Aisling Maher from play for Dublin. Lorna McNamara looking for her second score of the game. You can see the white flag there, and it's blown very, very strongly against her, but she hits it well. Is it accurate? Not to be in that occasion. 2 wides apiece, 1 point apiece.
Yeah, and I think that the flag on the far sideline probably gives a fair indication of the breeze that's there at the moment, and the power that Lorna McNamara had to get into that free to get it to go the distance, and I suppose just failed on the accuracy on that occasion. But you'd imagine with Chloe Morey on the edge of the square that maybe you'd be better off dropping those ones in. They have her in a full forward, but obviously just haven't been able to get much ball into her on this occasion.
Dublin have done well to move the ball down the right. The win short. Jodie Couch sent it in the direction of Izzy Davis, but Clare Hare will win the ball back for the host and sent it out in space towards Linda Daly. But Linda Daly, the ball is overhit, and Elise Jemison Murphy should take this back for Dublin. Indeed she does. Move towards the 45 there as well. Decide and have a pop herself at the post. Dublin are hitting an awful lot of pot shots like that in the game, Elaine. They've only had 3 wides in the contest too, but you'd feel they should be trying to get much closer to goal.
Yeah, look, when they're not playing a huge amount of players inside that 45, so if they're going for shots out the field they need to be accurate, and if not they need to be working it through the lines. You'd have to say Clare are probably attacking better at the moment, carrying the ball, and sometimes against the breeze, look, you're forced to carry it that little bit more, but they certainly seem to be getting more joy from carrying it into tackles at the moment.
David Carmody gives the ball up to Nebo D, and Nebo D passes the 65 metre line and sends it down in towards space again. But there, Emma Flanagan reading the breaks very, very well. Looks like she's playing in kind of the holding midfield sweeper role possibly, but she is covering those tracks to pass to Hannah Hegarty. But Hannah Hegarty running out of options eventually spots one in Eve O'Brien, and Eve O'Brien with the pass off in the direction of Jodie Couch, who's covered an awful lot of ground in Ennis. Back to Eve O'Brien, and Eve O'Brien down the other end of the field, but no blue jersey there, just the yellow, or the saffron I should say, and that's the saffron of Alana Ryan, who gives it to Clare Hare. Clare Hare gets away from Aisling Maher and moves towards the 65 metre line. Definitely playing a much advanced role in this opening half that we're used to Clare Hare. She normally pushes up as the game continues on, in down towards the attack, and an opportunity for Clare to create an opportunity. Lorna McNamara with a shot from play. The umpires nodded each other. An excellent score from Clare. 16 minutes in their first from play. Lorna McNamara makes it 2 points to 1.
Yeah, and look, I think when Clare Hare was coming out with that ball, looked up and saw the 2-person full forward line there of Lorna McNamara and Chloe Morey, and I suppose you just want to get the ball in quick, and delivery was probably a little bit delayed by Clare out around the middle of the field, but a good point when it did come from Lorna McNamara, but possibly something bigger there had she worked it a little bit better. She had runners coming off the shoulder, but Clare will be happy to take the point, and look, they're working extremely hard to keep themselves in this game against the breeze.
Yes, there was that moment of hesitation. There's no hesitation here now. There's an opportunity here, and it's on the move. There is Orla Duggan. Orla Duggan getting in for a chance for a shot. I think she just went too far into the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper puts the body in the way of Mooney, and already the physio first aid is out to check in the Dublin goalkeeper. She's limping a little bit, but she is back on her feet. But Clare all of a sudden have a goal scoring opportunity. We get Elaine's thoughts on that in just a moment as Aoife Keane sends it back in down towards the attack, and every ball being really fought for in this game as Clare just trying to hold it up. Back to Emer Kelly. She'll go for a shot at the post. That's going to go to the left. The Dublin goalkeeper is limping very badly. She'll receive some treatment now. Big opportunity there for Clare.
It was massive, and look, it'll ask huge questions, that Dublin defence, how Orla Duggan managed to find herself in acres of space out on the far right hand side, but what a ball across. Took it really, really well, and did everything right bar maybe the finish. Took it, as you said, probably too close to the goalkeeper, and gave Ava Mooney a chance in the goal, and she's down getting some attention, but that's a chance definitely for Clare, and that they regret that they didn't maybe be a bit more clinical up front with the finish.
We saw the replay there. We're just seeing it here one more time as well. It looked like their two knees collided, but this is in slow motion. Orla Duggan on the move towards the goal, and I'm surprised she didn't pull the trigger around here. Kept going, probably just hadn't looked up in time, and then went for the shot. Didn't get the clean connection on the sliotar and collided with the goalie.
Yeah, and look, you have to give credit to Roisin Baker as well. Got back really, really quick to cover the ground, and I suppose it was her coming in that maybe made Orla Duggan take those extra couple of steps, and that gave Ava Mooney the chance to come off the line and narrow the angle and get the block in. But as you said, down now getting a little bit of attention, that will be a little bit of concern for Dublin.
I can see Ciara Tierney right in front of us here in the commentary box from the Nafina Club. It looks like she could be coming into the game. Ava Mooney, who's really broke into the Dublin side this year, replacing Faye McCarthy. She's a Pexpo winner back in 2019, and if you don't know what Pexpo is, it's the sport version of the Young Scientist competition. So she picked up that. She models her puck outs and strategy on Aoife Murray, the Cork Camogie legend, which going to represent the 9 All-Ireland titles as well, and a driving force for Cork too as well. So a very intelligent student of the game. She's getting back on her feet, and hopefully she will be okay, but it's still a concern. It
is a concern, certainly, but as you said, what better role model for her to have than Aoife Murray. But look, if she can get back into the game, Dublin will be anxious. Her pockets have been crucial, I suppose, to everything Dublin have done good in the championship this year, and her restarts are nice and quick and nice and short, and Dublin play that kind of short ball out from their defence. So Eva Mooney's influence on that is obviously huge. Ciara Tierney obviously well aware of the puck out strategy and the plans and everything, but I suppose no one wants to lose a key player early in a knockout championship game.
Well, she's getting the helmet. She's done a few jumps up and down there to check is she okay. So it looks like Ava Mooney will be grand. And just as we talk about a Cork Camogie legend, of course, Roisin Baker, you mentioned coming back to cover the ground as well. Well, her uncle Mick Leeson won an All-Ireland senior football title with Kerry back in 1970 as well. So there you go, the Camogie Magic got Cork and Kerry mentioned in a game involving Dublin.
There you go. That's a skill in itself, isn't it? Great heritage and great DNA, I suppose, through both sets of players here.
So Ava Mooney is putting the helmet back on, so she is going to be okay to continue, and we will restarting with the Dublin goalkeeper as well. So we've had a few minutes there, hold up, nearly 20 minutes officially gone. We'll have a few minutes at a time in the first half. A low scoring game it is, not without incident, not without excitement or drama as well. The short puck out again, as Elaine mentioned, to Roisin Baker, and she lays the ball off to Cliona Nicoletti, and Cliona Nicoletti was trying to find a way out, but ran into Lorna McNamara. Lorna McNamara now has helped Clare to try and overturn the ball. There's a few bodies in there as well. You can spot the number 11 jersey of Emer Kelly. Cian Spillane deserving an awful lot of credit there as well, fighting for the ball, but the Dublin defenders are not going to give up possession easily. Indeed they haven't as well. They've won the ball back very, very briefly. The attempted clearance from Emma Flanagan blocked down by Lorna McNamara, and it's going to be a Dublin sideline cut anyway.
Yeah, and I know we spoke about Dublin working the ball out, through Ava Mooney's puck outs and working it sharp, but credit to Clare, they've pushed up on them, they've turned them over, and they're putting huge pressure on them, and you just wonder what the odd one or two, if Ava Mooney was to go along with that breeze behind her and hit maybe an Aisling Maher or someone on the half forward line, that with that breeze behind them they could just ask a few more questions of the Clare defence.
Dublin are moving the ball out towards the past the 20 metre line. A few quick hand passes again. They're very brave in defence there. Eva O'Brien gets it up to the 45, but stopped by Orla Duggan, and needs to take a second goal before she finds Elise Jemison-Murphy. Elise Jemison-Murphy with a ball down the far side of the field now, and there's a chance for Aisling O'Neill to really run at the opposition and go past Susan Daly. Indeed she does. Inside the 45 metre line, she try and take on Aoife Keane as well. Going for a shot at the post is Aisling O'Neill. Is this looking good? The umpire likes it. It's gone over the bar. The sides are level. A special from Aisling O'Neill, 2 points apiece.
Yeah, huge score given the amount of pressure Dublin have been under in their own defence for the last couple of minutes there. They've really held Clare to the minimum impact there, and then when they did get it up the field, as I said, they're only playing 2 up there, but when one of them is Aisling O'Neill, you give yourself a great opportunity.
Clare now trying to hand pass themselves as Susan Daly sent it down the direction of Aoife Keane. Number 2 for them is Ciara Grogan, and she gains a bit of ground down towards the other end of the field, and an opportunity now for Caoimhe Carmody to take on this Dublin defence. A low ball in towards the inside line, finds perfectly for Chloe Morey. There's a chance for Chloe Morey. She's a player outside her, goes herself. A good block down there from the Dublin defender. She probably should have played the ball in as well, but Chloe Morey sensed an opportunity to get a scoring chance too as well, but not to be on that occasion. And both teams are huffing and puffing, not quite blowing down houses at the moment, and play continues on. I think there might have been Roisin Baker with the block. Elaine will confirm that at the moment, but all of a sudden it's Aisling Maher down the right flank as well, tries to work her way the width of the field to get past Alana Ryan, gets inside the 45 metre line. A touch from the Clare stick of Clare Hare, gains it a few yards as well. Caoimhe Carmody back doing the donkey work in defence there as well, but on the ground is Jodie Couch wearing number 12 for Dublin, trying to get on her feet there as well. The referee is going to throw this in.
Yeah, I suppose Aisling Maher there tried to play the ball on ahead of her, but Clare quick to get the numbers back again. But just going back to Chloe Morey's opportunity at the other end, we waited, I suppose, 20 minutes maybe to see her get her proper first touch, but it was well worth waiting for the little flick of the hurl to bring it up into control. But again, just a little lack of composure and clinicalness up front, I think, from Clare. They could have had that ball in the net again, as you said in commentary. Probably needed to lay it off to, I think it was Orla Duggan was on her far side and was probably the player in the better position. But again, a chance for Clare that they just didn't take.
2 big goal scoring chances for Clare, 1 big goal scoring chance for Dublin. Remains 2 points apiece here in Cusack Park in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. 7 minutes of normal time remaining. And just to let you know as well, if you were worried about activities happening elsewhere around the country, well, I can tell you that Clare have beaten Wexford 124-314 in the All-Ireland Senior Hurling Championship quarter final. So that's a victory for the banner. Will there be another one here as well? But Dublin have a free in at the moment, and it's going to be on the 45-metre line, certainly in Aisling Maher territory, and one even this early in the game, as tight as it is, you'd feel she'd want to put over the bar.
Yeah, certainly, as I said, 2 points apiece after 23 minutes. It is real nip and tuck, and it has the real feel. I know Adrian O'Sullivan said before, and he felt a bit of nervous excitement in their own dressing room, but there's certainly a bit of nervousness about the play, and I suppose scores hard to come by, so every opportunity, will have to be taken, and Aisling Maher will be anxious just to put this one over the bar and maybe put Dublin into the ascendancy again.
Aisling Maher just outside the 45-metre line, having a look at the post again. Quietness for the free taker as she takes it, gets a bit too much purchase on it. It might fall for Izzy Davis though. She tried to put the hurl up there, but that ball goes to the right and left and wide, I should say. 4 wides for Dublin, 3 for Clare. Alana Ryan goes into Aisling Maher, and again, it's all down to interpretation, but it's a free out for Clare.
Yeah, and I think in fairness on that occasion, I think Aisling Maher did her best to wrap her hand around there and pull herself down, as we just see it again there. Knew damn well, I think, what was coming into her, and maybe pulled, just see her maybe releasing the hand there. But as again, it's that one again, it's that contentious issue. It's the player in possession has to avoid the tackle, and on that occasion, John Darmody interpreted that it was Aisling Maher actually pulled down the Clare player. So a relief for Clare, because Aisling Maher was putting them under pressure there.
She put her under pressure. Alana Ryan is okay, and Clare Hare is going to take this free for Clare inside her own 45-metre line as they try and launch another attack. A goal in this game will certainly spark it into life, and it's an intriguing contest so far. Probably just needs something big now to really get a goal, but both teams have done their best and come close. But both defences are really stepping up in this game. Sian Spillane with the white helmet there, trying to get the ball for Clare. Lorna McNamara out to help out as well, but you can see Dublin positioning their players very well. Roisin Baker in the middle of all that too. Jodie Couch is waiting for the instruction or waiting for the breaking ball. Her sister Gabby though might be the one that wins it. She has the yellow helmet on, and this is all happening inside the Clare the Dublin 45-metre line. The referee John Dermody had seen enough, giving both teams an opportunity to try and win this ball. We're going to have a throw in.
Yeah, and it's no wonder that we're having a throw in. I think probably 75% of the players on the field are in that small square of grass at the moment. Dublin with 2 inside the Clare half of the field on this occasion. Aisling Maher just pushing up there now to make it 3 into the forwards, but other than that, everybody else was in that small passage of ground, so a big win for Dublin to take the free out of there.
Jodie Couch doing the business to win the free as well, and now they'll give them a chance to take a bit of pressure off, as that's taken by Leah Butler, and Leah Butler sending it down the far end of the field too as well. And it looks like it's Susan Daly that did enough to get that from Scariff or Gunlow. I mentioned about being one of 2 triplets, of course. Linda is her sister as well, and the triplets with Rachel too, a younger sister Jennifer, all from Scariff or Gunlow. Clare have won the free out just outside their D, and it'll be a chance for Clare Hare to get the action going again as we look at the clock. 4 minutes of normal time remaining in the first half as Emer Kelly tries to sell the dummy, but back there for Dublin is Emma O'Byrne wearing number 7. Emma Flanagan's near her there as well, and it was the third player, Muireann Kelleher, who wins the ball for Dublin and sends it back down towards the middle of the field again. And Niamh O'Dea picks up the break, has the ball there, she goes in a run. No football for Niamh this week too. She's just focusing solely on the Camogie today, sending it down in towards a trouble area for Chloe Morey. Chloe Morey turns on her right, goes for a shot at the post, going to drop into the hands of Ava Mooney, the goalkeeper for Dublin. She lays the ball off, and again Dublin hand passing it out the field towards Eve O'Brien. Eve O'Brien loses the ball, it's back with Chloe Morey with the pass towards Emer Kelly. That's going backwards. Emer Kelly will drive it forward now, going for another shot at the post, and unfortunately for her it goes wide. 4 wides each.
Yeah, we've had such a low scoring game, and probably both sides guilty of a little bit of pot shot from out the field. And Clare, especially against the breeze, really needs to just be playing it in. Look, Lorna McNamara looks to be on her game inside there, and you have Chloe Morey in there obviously for a reason, so you'd imagine Clare would be doing better to keep that ball in play and keep it into that full forward line.
Yeah, we've seen big players do big things in this match so far. As you mentioned, Lorna McNamara, a fantastic score from play, and a free 2. Aisling Maher and Aisling O'Neill bringing now 2 points from play from the top drawer, but it has been no scoring, and as mentioned, it's been credited to the defenders as well. Both teams probably making wrong decisions at times in attack and play. We're going to be start with a clear sideline cut, the far side of the field. 2 points apiece here in Cusack Park in Ennis. A draw is only worth a point apiece, and the reason we're having a hold up is off the ball. I think it's Muireann Kelleher is receiving attention for Dublin, and you can just see her on your screen there at the moment. Muireann Kelleher, 4th season in the Dublin senior jersey as well, and a real leader of this team already, an important player even there the last time too, when she picked up the breaking ball to stop Clare getting notions down the right.
Yeah, look, I suppose the defenders having to turn towards their own goal on occasion because they're being pulled so far out, and look, her pace and her tenacity to get back ahead of Emer Kelly on that occasion, and it's probably where she picked up the injury. But having to be alert, I suppose, to the fact that sometimes it's 2 in that full forward line, sometimes it's 3. So while she may have 4 on her back, will be playing all over the field and not necessarily in that traditional cornerback role.
No, Jim, the numbers there only mean little now. Players are capable of playing multiple positions in the modern game as well, and we've even seen it there with Clare here, who's back in the full back line one moment, then out the half back. The attempted pass between 2 Clare players doesn't find one of their own. It finds Aisling Maher, and Aisling Maher now is moving horizontal across the field, lays the pass over Leah Butler. Leah Butler will give it back to Aisling Maher. Aisling Maher needs the referee to get out of the way. She lost her balance in the process, and the ball bouncing down there, but Duran Murphy was alert. Aisling Maher though fell awkwardly as she was hitting that. I think that she was trying to avoid the referee as well, and a bit of concern here.
Yes, certainly, and it seems to be her knee. I think she's clutching as she goes down, so there's always a little bit of concern there, but I followed the flight of the ball in, so I don't think there's anything untoward, and I think just a pause in play maybe to just make sure she can get some attention. But Clare goalie Duran Murphy had to be really alert there. Izzy Davis got a hand to that as it was going in and could have just taken her eye off it, but did really, really well to keep her eye on it and react to the bounce inside and make a good save for Clare.
We would have had to blame the referee for that one if Aisling Maher picked up an injury as well.
Can he give himself a yellow card?
Actually, just what I lightheartedly say that Aisling Maher has gone on the ground again, so real concern here for Dublin at the moment, because this is the key cog in their championship so far. As I mentioned, she was player of the match with our first game, brought to you in association with entry in the opening round of the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. That was a 2-point victory in Walsh Park, 111 to 12 points against Waterford. She's also picked up another player of the match award in various outlets, and that was the game against Tipperary as well, so it would be a real loss for Dublin if she went off. Thankfully, as you can see, she is okay. Duran Murphy sends the ball out the field of play, and play continues on. I think I saw the fourth official signal 5 extra minutes in this first half. We are in the first minute of added time at the moment as Caoimhe Carmody tries to weave away inside the Dublin defence, sends a ball in towards the attack, looking for an opportunity for Chloe Morey to do something, but they're staying very, very tight with Chloe Morey, especially Eve O'Brien. Not going to make it easy. Support is there from Linda Daly, but Dublin have the ball. They have it from Eve O'Brien. She did very well on that occasion. They take the ball, and it's going to be Emma O'Byrne bringing it out towards the 65-metre line for Dublin. Will one of these teams go in front before half time? Aisling O'Neill is capable of making that happen as she goes again, takes on 2 players, takes the body charge, goes for a shot at the post. Aisling O'Neill, the ball has gone over the bar, and that's the perfect way to set yourself up for a score. Aisling O'Neill with her 9th point from play in the championship makes it 3-2 to Dublin.
Yeah, and scores haven't been plentiful, but they have been of the highest quality when they do come, and that's another massive one from Aisling O'Neill to go with Aisling Maher's one from previously. 3 great scores from Dublin from play. As I said, they're playing with 2 and 3 up front most of the time, but when the likes of Aisling O'Neill and Aisling Maher do get on it, they're certainly making it count.
Some heavy hits in this match. Another one you just saw there as well. Alana Ryan taking the shoulder from Jodie Couch, but a legal set the referee, and of course be interesting to see what John Dermody does. He's taking the book out there for a chat, and he is calling Jodie Couch over here, so it looks like we're going to have a 3rd yellow card for Dublin in this game. Alana Ryan, minor Clare captain in 2017, is okay back in the field of play, but Jodie Couch gets a yellow card.
Yeah, and look, I suppose it's something that Dublin maybe are going to have to be a little bit careful of. As you said, 3 players on yellow cards already for tough enough challenges. I suppose they're further out the field, so they're not in your full back line or your half back line, so they're not maybe of immediate concern, but still it just puts yourself in a vulnerable position to pick up a second kind of innocuous one if you do, and it puts, I suppose, Adrian O'Sullivan and his management team thinking at half time.
Yes, and of course 14 against 15, always a difficult task as well as Dublin bring it down the field again, and the long balls are working out nicely, and Aisling O'Neill seems to like these because she's on the run again, and Aisling O'Neill is moving in. Is she on for a 10-pointer in the championship or maybe something more? She's going to go lower and shot a goal! A goal for Dublin, and it's Aisling O'Neill in the back of the net. I thought she'd go for a point, but she's been willing to take on this Clare defence. A beautiful low strike, it has to be said, and Dublin are 4 clear.
Yeah, and especially when you consider, I think she took 4 or 5 Clare defenders out of the game with that run, and it was a massive run. You know, it didn't look like anything dangerous from inside the 45 where she collected that ball, but once she turned it with that turn of pace and that power, she got inside the Dublin or the Clare defence, and as you said, when she's a player that's on form and on the kind of form she is, happy to take the shot at the goal, and a super goal, put it right into the corner away from Darren Murphy, gave her no opportunity, and a real lift for Dublin now ahead of half time.
I mentioned she was their top scorer from playing the championship so far. She scored 1-2 in this game. It's Dublin 1-3, Clare 2 points, and what a big score that's going to be before half time. And Dublin are finishing the half strongly. Leah Butler just took too many steps there, a moment of hesitation, and it's going to be a free out for Clare, and you would feel they just need to get a point very, very quickly and settle things down. Clare have asked questions, even if they don't have the scores to show it. Clare here is going to take this for them between the 45 and the 65 metre line. Long drive down towards the inside line. A hurl goes flying there, hasn't hit anybody. The ball finds Chloe Morey. She wins the free. Clare will get their opportunity. Lorna McNamara, you would feel, is going to take this, but Chloe Morey is standing over the ball. The referee is going to have a chat with another Dublin defender, and we're going to have a 4th yellow card for Dublin.
Yeah, looked like a high hurl maybe in there from Roisin Baker, I think, was it? Yeah, Roisin Baker, and she finds herself, just as I spoke about the Dublin full back line not having those yellow cards, but as you said, Chloe Morey stood over it quickly. I think she wanted to try and get it restarted if she could quickly and maybe have a chance for the goal.
Chloe Morey is going to take the free, puts the ball over the bar. That is her 4th free in 4 games in this year's championship. Brings it back to a 3-point ball game. We have played just over 34 minutes, and it's Dublin in front by the goal as they move the ball out in defence again. Eve O'Brien well involved in the action so far. Plays it down the other end of the field. Alana Ryan doing the same for Clare. Out to the left to Caoimhe Carmody. Caoimhe Carmody inside the 65 metre line. The momentum changing again. Lorna McNamara will be disappointed she didn't take the last free. She's going to show exactly how disappointed she was as she puts the ball over the bar. 4.5 minutes of added time played. It's 1-3 to 4 points.
Yeah, and 2 great points and a super response from Clare to that Dublin goal, you know, just to eat back into that goal, I suppose, and look for 2 from their hugely influential players, Lorna McNamara and Chloe Morey up there. So 2 big scores for Clare, and it just gets them back into it.
It's 4 points to Clare, 1-3 to Dublin. The referee wanted to slow things down. He wasn't ready, and of course, being a point, play should not have restarted until he'd blown the whistle the second time. The new rules in Camogie: if you hit a wide happens, you can restart straight away on the whistle on the wide, but you need the second whistle if it's a score. Elise Jemison Murphy has the ball, gives it to Gabby Couch. Gabby Couch is Aisling Maher out to the right, and Aisling Maher wants to add on to the goal, and she's going to go and have a run there now. There's a player out to her right if she wants. She's going to go herself, goes for a shot. The big names are stepping up. They're getting the big scores. 1-4 to 4 points to Dublin.
Yeah, we had 2 points each, I think, on 25 minutes, and we've had a flurry of scores since. But again, Aisling Maher, just one of those players who finds herself in space no matter how closely she's been marked. Again, found herself free, unmarked in space there, willing to take on the shot from distance and put it over the bar again. And I suppose just as Clare responded to that Dublin goal, Aisling Maher responded to those 2 points from Clare and just make that lead a little bit more comfortable for Dublin at half time.
We had 4 scores in the regular 30 minutes. We've had 5 scores in injury time, but as you mentioned, it is half time, and Dublin in front by 3 points. Dublin 1-4, Clare 4 points. The goal from Aisling O'Neill, the difference. Elaine, your overall assessment of the opening half?
Yeah, look, Adrian O'Sullivan, I suppose, spoke about the nervous excitement, the nervous energy he felt in the Dublin dressing room, and I think that probably showed on the field for the first 20 to 25 minutes of that half. You know, it was tight and it was close and it was crowded around the middle of the field, but no team really stepping up on the scoreboard. A couple of pot shots from both of them from distance and never really troubling that inside line. Both had their goal opportunities, and neither took them until that one from Aisling O'Neill from a Dublin point of view. And look then like they'd done enough to carry a sizable lead into half time. But credit to Clare, their big players, as I said, Lorna McNamara and Chloe Morey stepped up with a great win inside to win herself her own free, which she converted, and then, you know, that follow-up point from Lorna McNamara, and to finish out the half, I suppose, a fitting point from play from distance from Aisling Maher. So look, Dublin will be happy to be the goal up. They probably need it with that breeze behind them, but Clare will be happy that they've kept themselves in this game, especially the way they've reacted to that Dublin goal. So a huge second half to come from both.
Yes, indeed, it sets it up for a massive 30 minutes, not just for both teams, but also for Wexford supporters who need Clare to get something out of this to keep themselves in the championship. We'll be back in about 10 minutes' time with live coverage of the second half of the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship, brought to you here on the Camogie Association YouTube channel in association with Entray. It's Aisling O'Neill's goal is the difference. The half-time score, Dublin in front by 3. It's Dublin 1-4, Clare 4 points. So good evening, thank you very much and welcome back here to Cusick Park in Ennis for the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. Clare against Dublin, the half-time score, Dublin 1-4, Clare 4 points. The home side back out in the field for the second half, as is the match official John Dermody from Westmeath. You can see there in the middle, no sign of Dublin yet. And Elaine, we were just commenting before we took the break, the scores were coming a mile a minute at the end of the half. If they start the second half that way, we'll be in for a cracking 30 minutes.
Yeah, and you'd hope that they will, you know, that initial nervousness. And look, for a lot of that first half, I think they both played like two teams who just didn't want to lose the points rather than wanted to go and try and win the game. And, you know, maybe that comes from the break that they've had maybe a little bit of nervousness, nearly first round championship feel again about it. But certainly, look, as you said, if they finish like they did if they start the second half like they finished that first half, we should be in for a free-flowing opening encounter. We've only had 4 scorers, 2 from each side to date, so look, you'd expect it to open up a little bit into the second half.
Well, 2 big scores for each team as well. Lorna McNamara with 3 points for Clare, 1 for Chloe Morey from a free. Aisling Maher with 2 points for Dublin. Aisling O'Neill with 1-2. That big goal before half time, giving them the difference between the teams. 1-4 to 4 points. We'll also be keeping an eye on what's happening in Walsh Park over the second half. That threw in at half 5. It's currently Cork 4 points, Waterford 2, and in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Premier Junior Camogie Championship, Cavan beat Mayo by 4-7 to 1-6. The referee John Dermody getting ready now. Clare attacking the goal to the right in the second half. Whatever breeze is here, it's settled down at the moment. Whatever breeze is here is going to favour Clare in the second half. Can they use that to their advantage and get themselves back in the championship? Or are Dublin going to strike the first major blow of 2022 and put Clare and Wexford out of the competition? The ball is thrown in. The second half is underway. Dublin against Clare, and Clare with the ball through Emer Kelly, getting inside the 65-metre line, meets 3 Dublin players. The referee says she took too many steps and it's going to be a free out for Dublin. She's not happy with the decision. That won't matter one bit. Dublin have their free.
No, and I don't think she has any reason not to be happy with it. I think John Dermody gave her every chance to get it played and could maybe have blown her a couple of steps beforehand, but did really well from the break, I suppose, to get in on that clearance from Alana Ryan, get it into her hand, but just couldn't break down that Dublin half back line.
Emma Flanagan takes the free for Dublin and sends it down towards the space. And interesting to see what way they set up in the second half after playing too early on. But of course, when you've Aisling O'Neill, it doesn't really matter too much. He sent a dangerous ball inside. Clare needs to be careful. Izzy Davis is there as well, and Izzy Davis has managed to get her hands in the ball. There's been a tumble between players. The referee having a look. She went for a hand pass into space, hoping that the teammate will be there, but it was Clare here that won the ball, leaves it off for Aoife Keane, and Aoife Keane will get it away from the Clare goal as Emma Flanagan is going to keep the ball in play, and plenty of players around. Gabby Couch in front of her there, but she goes herself, gives the pass off to Maureen Kelleher, and Maureen Kelleher sends it down the field, and the bit of tennis might start again. Not if Aisling Maher has anything to say about it. They're playing in grass, but she's playing camogie. Aisling Maher getting in range. Great hook there by Niamh O'Dea on that occasion, where the referee says it was a chop down foul, so it's going to be a free in for Dublin.
Yeah, lovely little bit of play there from both players, I suppose. First of all, that little step from Aisling Maher that just took her away from the Clare defence and got her into that space. Niamh O'Dea covering back, and probably harsh enough, but probably a little bit from behind when the attempted block came in. So John Dermody blowing her for that one, and a chance now for the free taker.
So minute and a half in to the second half, the free being taken by Aisling O'Neill, and Aisling O'Neill puts the ball over the bar. 2 minutes into the second half, puts 4 points between the teams. I think that's our first score from a free in the championship. It's 1-5 to 4 points.
Yeah, look, and a good start from Dublin, I suppose, against the breeze now. They look to make every chance count, and they had a lot of pressure on that Clare defence there and forced them to overcarry or to fill the ball in there, I suppose, and give themselves the opportunity to stretch the lead into the second half.
Yeah, a bit surprising that Aisling Maher didn't take the free. She came into the game having scored 2 8-from-place balls, including a super penalty against Waterford the first day of asking, but with the form Aisling O'Neill is on, they probably just decided to go with that, and Dublin lead by 4 points. Caoimhe Carmody with the ball for Clare, sending it cross field down in the direction of Linda Daly, but it just gets away from her. However, the support is arriving through Niamh O'Dea, and Niamh O'Dea going up against Emma O'Byrne, who was the player that sent the ball into Aisling O'Neill for the Dublin goal before half time. We were just watching back the highlights reel during the break. Niamh O'Dea will do everything she can for Clare. She fights for the ball there as well as the hurler's been pushed there, the hands are out, and play continues on, and it's back with Niamh O'Dea, and Niamh O'Dea with possession, sending it inside towards the inside line, and we'll just set something up here for Clare at the moment. Hannah Hegarty's coming back to cover the defence there as well, and Clare being pushed back out towards the 45-metre line. Chloe Morey looking for Niamh O'Dea, into interception on that occasion by Leah Butler. Elise Jemison Murphy with the ball for Dublin. There's a real bite in this game at the moment, you would feel, as Eve O'Brien sends it down the left. We'll get Helene's thoughts on that at the moment. The ball stays in play through Aisling O'Neill just about, and we were perfectly positioned to see that, and all of a sudden Aisling O'Neill's on the move again. Aisling O'Neill for Dublin has a player nearby, gives the pass off for Aisling Maher. Aisling Maher just a bit hard the first time. Ciara Grogan coming in there with the contact, and Alana Ryan will kick the ball out towards the 45-metre line for Gabby Couch. Players are tangling with each other. Alana Ryan has the ball again. Elaine, we have to say credit the referee, he's letting this play go because he can call about 3 or 4 frees there.
And if we'd been listening to the sideline, we'd had 3 or 4 called there, but credit to John Darmody, he left them flow on both sides, and it eventually ended up with a free out on the far side. But just going back to the incident on the ground there, we see Niamh Woody getting the body over the ball. I think her hurl was probably being held back by Leah Butler, her arm certainly, on that occasion, and Niamh maybe with the hurl just a push back, possibly a little bit high, but look, I don't think there was any malice in as such, and I don't think there was any I think Leah Butler probably made the most of it and stayed down looking to maybe draw the referee or the linesman's attention to it. But John Darmody, in typical fashion, the way he's been refereeing it, left the play go on, and look, I don't think there was any malice in it.
Opportunity here for Clare at the moment. Chloe Morey trying to get away, turns on her right hand side, goes for a shot at the post. It's gone wide. I think it needed Ava Mooney to make that, but we have to just go back to that point as well, as there was nothing malicious in it too. But of course a Dublin supporter might be saying, she could have given the referee a decision to make.
Yeah, look, and when you push back like that, when you do give the referee or the linesperson a decision to make if they've if there is something in it. But we're just going back for another big decision at the moment. Chloe Morey's point, Clare certainly thought it was over the bar. They looked to the linesman on the far side, I think, for confirmation. The 2 umpires did look to be in 2 minds as to whether it was or not, but we're going to see what the decision is. I do think the attention of the referee was called from the linesman on the far side, so whether he saw something or not, we'll just see. If John Darmody doesn't look like he's going to be writing it down, so no, white ball from Chloe Morey and play to continue.
Yes, Ava Mooney made the right call there at the end. She pucks the ball out. Just over 5 minutes gone in the second half. It remains Dublin 1-5, Clare 4 points. And as I just mentioned, you can just, because we've highlighted already how important this game is for both teams, and it's being played like that. There's a bite in it now. There's a real commitment to it. Edge of your seat stuff. Exactly the type of camogie we want to watch. Aoife Keane with the ball inside her own 45-metre line for Clare. Sends it forward in the direction of Linda Daly. Linda Daly skips past Gabby Couch. Sends the ball in towards the attack as well, as Lorna McNamara tries to set something up. She's well out from goal there as well. 2 Dublin defenders around her. Good work being put in there. Muriel Kelleher, the player with the pink boots, but it's Emer Kelly on the run, has the advantage. Apologies for the language in the background if you heard that, but it's still Emer Kelly. She goes for a shot in the post, and Emer Kelly puts the ball over the bar. 6 minutes into the second half, Clare get their first score. It's 5 points to 1-5.
Yeah, and it's one they turned Dublin over on when they were trying to come out with that, so a massive score for Clare, and as you said, a real bite in it now, and every decision and every score being met with real enthusiasm from the sidelines and from the players on the field. But huge score there from Emer Kelly, and she's had a really good game for Clare.
There's equal commitment from the 30 players on the field that play. As Elaine said, you can get it from the 2 sidelines here, are the 2 dugouts who are right underneath us in the commentary box. Cork lead Waterford by 6 points to 3, but it's Orla Duggan stopping Emma Byrne with the clearance, and the referee says it's going to be a foul in a push in the back. It's going to be a free for Clare now. Chloe Morey and us there's getting to know each other off the ball as well. Nothing malicious, I have to say, but it just is so much to keep an eye on as well. But we'll focus on right in front of us here. The Lorna McNamara is coming out to take this free for Clare, and if she puts this over the bar to try and bring it back to a 2-point ball game, it's difficult enough, even though Clare do have the win. Outside the 45-metre line, there's a swirling white flag just off camera at the moment. Lorna McNamara going to take this free for Clare. Can she put this over the bar? It'll be her 4th point of the day if she does, to bring it back to a 2-point ball game. And again, Cusick Park going quiet for the free taker. She's hit it well. It looks good. The ball has gone over the bar. Lorna McNamara with the free, and it's 6 points to 1-5.
And a huge free it was, nothing easy about it, right out on the sideline from a nice little bit of distance, and as you said, with the wind to judge as well, but judged it perfectly. A home pitch here in Ennis for Clare, so maybe that had its advantages for her, but still struck it really, really well. And again, again, Clare working really hard to turn Dublin over on their own half back line.
It's Championship Camogie at its best. Is Muireann Kelleher forced to give it back to Roisin Baker. Roisin Baker trying to find teammates. Clare starting to put the press on the Dublin defence. No doubt they talked about that at half time. Muireann Kelleher sends the ball away, but only as far as Alana Ryan. And Alana Ryan is going to send it down the left. Lorna McNamara is holding back just in case it bypassed Emma Flanagan, but not to be. And Emma Flanagan now will bring the ball out for Dublin. Tries to pick out Aisling Maher. And Aisling Maher has possession now on the 65-metre line. She's going to the run again. Anytime the Ashlings from Dublin go on the run, they cause trouble. Aisling Maher has done very, very well to get it down. Niamh D doing everything she can to stop her in her tracks and just got the touch. And Ciara Grogan will send it out the field again as far as Sian Spillane. Sian Spillane takes on Gabby Couch as well. Gabby Couch blocking the path. Sian turns left, turns right. The referee has been consistent with his application of this rule over the game. It's going to be a free for Dublin.
Yeah, and Clare will be disappointed with that when you know Niamh D worked so hard back there to track Aisling Maher, dispossessed her, got the out ball out then to Sian Spillane, and she just couldn't get away from the Dublin attack with it and forced the overcarry there. So they'll be disappointed that they didn't deal better with that one.
Aisling Maher is going to take this free between the 45 and the 65 metre line. Again, it's a similar enough type of shot to the one that Lorna McNamara put over, but this is against the wind there, and again the flag just off the shot at the moment, but it's blown very strongly against Aisling Maher. Can she put this over the bar? 9 minutes gone in the second half. Dublin in front by 2 points. And Aisling Maher, again, everything going quite for the free taker as she goes for the strike. This looks like it's going to drop short, and Daisy Davis got a touch there as well. This might work out nicely for Dublin. Aisling O'Neill tried to pull the trigger, not to be, and Clare will bring it out to Caoimhe Carmody, and Caoimhe Carmody turns away from Elise Jemison Murphy, gives the pass off for Clare Hare. Clare Hare turns to her right again, works her way towards the 45, but two Dublin players couldn't get the ball off Clare, and Clare Hare now sends it into the space where Caoimhe Carmody is going up the fields, and in the fight for possession is Emma O'Byrne, and the referee says there was a push by the Dublin number 7, and the Dublin management not happy with that at all. It's going to be a free for Clare in Lorna McNamara country, you would feel, and she'll get another opportunity now to bring this back to a 1 point ball game. Emer Kelly is the player there, we're just going off screen at the moment, but Lorna McNamara is coming out to take the free, and you can see the linesman right in front of us there marking the spot just a few yards back from the previous one, Elaine, and she'll be really fancy this.
Yeah, look, she had plenty of distance on the last one, and this one was probably, as you said, a little bit further back, maybe 7 or 8 yards further back, but a little bit further in, so certainly within her range again, as you said. But really super work from Clare. They'll be really, really impressed with the amount of times that they've turned Dublin over in that half back line, and then the pressure that they've put on Dublin, forcing those long balls up, which Clare are mopping up in their own half back line.
Can Lorna McNamara bring this back to a 1 point ball game? We look at the watch, 10.5 minutes gone in the second half. Lorna McNamara takes the free. She's hit it well again. Will it carry? Will it carry? It drops down short there. Good goalkeeping on the occasion by Ava Mooney, and it's Emma Flanagan will be the player to bring it out the fields. Gives it to Cliona Nicoletti. The referee has blown the whistle. There's a Dublin player on the ground, so we're going to have another hole up there again.
Yeah, it was one of those really dangerous frees, especially with the sun at the height that it's at in the moment now, in the eyes of Ava Mooney there. It was one of those dangerous ones that could easily have dropped in, but credit to the Dublin defence, they got on it quick, and they were quick onto the break as well to clean up, and they had it in possession coming out the far right hand side. So when play will resume, it will be a free to Dublin from the far side.
I think it's Eve O'Brien. I just recognise the sky blue helmet there. I think it's Eve O'Brien that the player is down at the moment, so she's been brave enough over the course of the game. Joined captain in 2017. Also Eve O'Brien, one of the jobs she used to have before was in Croke Park. She used to be involved in rolling out the red carpet on big match days there.
Super, very important job too to have. She has nearly an even more important job today in that Dublin full back line, and as you said, she's been immense there. You know, she's put her body on the line on a number of occasions already, and I'm sure she'll be called on again before this game is over to try and relieve that Dublin defence there. But again, put her body on the line on that one. I think it was just a clash of bodies maybe, and she probably came off a little bit the worst of it, but Dublin will be happy to have regained possession.
Niamh D is also receiving some attention there just off screen at the moment there as well. Or could be just checking to make sure that she is okay. She, as you mentioned there a few minutes ago, she dropped back there to stop Aisling Maher on the run as well. And again, no different to Aisling Maher for Dublin, who we concerned about in the first half. Niamh D is a vital cog in this Clare machine. Yeah,
and I think that was the run that actually might have aggravated that injury or caused that injury. She certainly seemed to limp back out from that attack at that occasion, looked to be catching maybe her hamstring or the back of her knee certainly. So as you said, a huge player for Clare, and if she's injured, like her runs from the middle of the field, her trademark runs and her powerful runs will certainly be missed. But look, as we saw the day in Cork, some of these Clare players, they need to be missing a leg before they'll actually come off the field to play. So look, if she can't stay running in the middle of the field, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see her pop up maybe in that full forward line or somewhere with a little bit less running, but still maybe in a dangerous position.
I've learned my lesson that day in Páirc Uí Rinn not to try and look for a Clare player to be substituted. They'll probably go up and score a goal. Evo D is back on her feet. Eve O'Brien still receiving attention, but looks like she's getting herself back okay to go, so we should be grand. Play has restarted. Eve O'Brien does not have her helmet back on. We can tell you it's still 6 points to 3 to Cork in the game in Walsh Park. So I'm just watching, we're watching the play on the field, but I can tell you that Eve O'Brien has walked off the field for Dublin, so we'll see exactly what's going on here at the moment. I didn't see a Dublin player come on the field to play. Indeed, there is a Dublin player getting ready. We'll tell you about that in a moment. So a massive blow for Dublin. Eve O'Brien gone off the field to play. We'll get Elaine's thoughts on that in a bit. And coming on for them will be number 24 Clare Gannon when next time there's a break in play. So Dublin being forced into a change, Elaine. They have a free in there at the moment, but massive loss, Eve O'Brien.
Yeah, it's a huge loss. As I said, she'd been having a real battle on the edge of the square there with probably an unprecedented one in Chloe Moore. We probably weren't expecting that particular battle, but she's probably come out on top of it on a number of occasions. She's great to give and go, so at full back, gives the play out and then gets on the end of it again. So has been delivering a lot of ball out from that Dublin defence again. So a huge loss from her, but a big step up now, a big call up from Clare Gannon.
Yeah, Clare Gannon from Nave Jude just coming on the field to play, and she will finish off this match. It's still Dublin 1-5, Clare 6 points, but Dublin have a free as we approach the 3-quarter mark. It's going to be taken by Aisling Maher, and if she puts this over the bar to restore a 3-point advantage. A low scoring but intriguing tie here in Cusack Park in Ennis in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. Aisling Maher has done what was required of her on that occasion, puts the ball over the bar, 1-6 to 6 points.
Yeah, and I just noticed off camera Evo D heading into that full forward line for Clare, so whether it's an injury that she's not going to be able to shake off around the middle of the field, but she has gone into that full forward line now where Hannah Hegarty has picked her up. So you have Chloe Morey and Evo D inside the 45, inside the 21 now in that Clare attack.
Well, certainly Dublin defence will need to be careful if you send a dangerous ball into the two of them as well, but for Clare overall they want to have some of them involved out the field. Aisling Maher is out the field, took the pass from Aisling O'Neill trying to weave her way through. Has to watch out for the steps as Izzy Davis in front and just ran out of options. Again, disciplined defending from Clare did enough to stop her in her tracks, and the battle for possession here as Aisling O'Neill collides with the Clare defender, and Clare defender, I'm just can't identify at the moment. It's going to be a Dublin sideline ball. It actually indeed was Gabby Couch. It's just the sun coming down there. I just couldn't recognise. It wasn't Gabby Couch. Sorry, it was Quiva Kelly who's playing in corner back for Clare, but she did well on that occasion. Dublin have the ball back again. Aisling Maher leaves it off there for Jodie Couch. It looked like a high challenge there. Play continues on. Jodie will have a second go at the post. It's a cute enough angle. She's done well. She's put the ball over the bar. 16 minutes gone. She earned that score, Jodie Couch. 1-7 to 6 points.
She certainly did, and it was one that Dublin had to work hard from, even from the sideline. But what a score when it did come. She becomes only the third Dublin scorer, I suppose, to get on the score sheet today, but a super score and well worthy of extending that lead for them.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there at the moment. I think Aisling Maher is receiving some attention again there, and it's been that type of game, Elaine, where we get like fluid moments like just before half time or even the start of this half as well, and then we have to stop for a moment. Of course, player welfare concern of our players first and foremost as well, and Aisling Maher again just receiving some treatment.
Yeah, and look, it's a tough physical encounter. There's a lot of bodies, as we said, around the middle of the field. Both teams setting up with maybe 2 and 3 inside their own 45, so that leaves a lot of bodies around the middle of the field, and it's hard hitting and it's championship camogie. So look, you wouldn't expect anything less, but as you said, John Darmody on occasion being forced to stop just to check on the welfare of players, and rightly so.
And that will mean, of course, 14 minutes of normal time remaining. I'd say we'll have another 5 or 6 at the end of this match as well. And of course, so much at stake, not just for these two teams, but as we mentioned already, for Wexford after their defeat to Tipperary 15 points to 111. Wexford do not want a Dublin victory in this match, or they could be heading now with the championship. Nevo D has the ball for Clare, lays the pass off for Emer Kelly. Emer Kelly moving herself inside there now, surrounded surrounded by 4 Dublin defenders. Send the pass off in the direction of Linda Daly or Chloe Morey. Neither got the ball because Muireann Kelleher has it for Dublin, and she'll bring it back out towards the 45-metre line, but it's going to come back again through Caoimhe Carmody. Caoimhe Carmody gets away from Gabby Couch. At the right, Gabby Couch this time. Caoimhe Carmody with the shot. That ball is going to fall to the right and wide, and it remains that 4-point advantage favouring Dublin. Again, another player is down. We're going to have another hold up and play.
Yeah, Muireann Kelleher, I think it is down in the Dublin full back line at the moment, and quick to take the helmet off, so whether it's another head injury or not. But again, John Darmley's just been forced, I suppose, to go in and check on the player welfare. But good build-up play there from Clare, and I suppose that's the danger of having a player of Niamh D's stature inside in that full forward line. She played that ball off really, really well to the onrushing Emer Kelly, and look, Clare probably could have had a better opportunity for the shot before it did come. When it did come, it was probably a little bit rushed from Caoimhe Carmody and under pressure, and floated off to the right and wide.
Muireann Kelleher, it's the second time she's been down in this game. Just to give you the group table here, Group 1 of the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. At the start of the day, we had Cork on 9 points from 3 games, Waterford on 6, Dublin on 4, Wexford on 3 points, but of course they played their 4th game earlier on. Tipperary now up to 5 points and currently sitting in 3rd place, but of course they've only 1 game remaining, and Clare on 1 point. So if Dublin were to win this game, they could go up to 2nd place in the group, but they would be too far away from Wexford and Clare. And we're just hearing the half-time score from Walsh Park. Only a 2-point ball game. It's Cork 6 points, Waterford 4. If Waterford were to win that game, they could be top today. Emer Kelly's only thinking about Clare at the moment, thinking about an important score for them, and puts the ball over the bar, does Emer Kelly, exactly when they needed it. 19 minutes in, back to a 3-point ball game, 7 points to 1-7.
Yeah, and she's been a player that has been driving forward time and time again today for Clare, and I suppose has a point already in the second half, but has had a couple of shots as well that just haven't come off, but a super point from her, and just keeps Clare in contention.
Emma Flanagan taking the puck out, sends the ball out towards the right through Cliona Nicoletti, and again the challenge is going in. The referee calling the decision in Dublin's favour. I'm not too sure if it was the sideline cut or the free he's given there. Aisling Maher again getting down on her hunkers, looks uncomfortable at the moment, and he should again, as we said, I'm not ruling out any Clare players, I'm not ruling out any Dublin players either.
No, certainly not. And look, but she does look to be in a little bit of discomfort, and whether it's from that injury she picked up in the first half, it's heavily strapped after half time there, so whether it's that or whether it's something else, but she certainly has been a player. Look, she's been involved in a lot of what has been good about Dublin, not just today but all year, but certainly involved in a lot of the play. And when you're involved in a lot of the play out around the middle of the field today, you're taking a lot of hits and you're taking a lot of knocks, and Aisling Maher is certainly one of those players for Dublin today.
Clare have made a substitution just there. Muireann Scanlon from 6 Mile Bridge has come on the field to play for Linda Daly. Aisling Maher getting herself back in position, a Grey Ambassador for Dublin, but a Grey Ambassador in general. She will be a special guest next Saturday, the Dublin Pride Parade, and she is on the field to play and back into position as well, hoping to drive Dublin onto put 1 foot into the quarterfinals. They would not qualify today if they get the victory, but as I mentioned, their chances will be really strengthened if they do the job. Emma Flanagan with the free down in the direction of Aisling Maher, up against Cian Spillane, and Aisling Maher has taken the ball, takes the challenge from Ciara Grogan as well, and goes on the run, has support, but she might go herself. Aisling Maher sent it across the goal. The ball kind of got between 2 minds there, goes out to the left. Play restarted straight away through Doireann Murphy, and Doireann Murphy just hitting it a bit too hard as she was sending it out into the direction of Aoife Keane, and it's won back by Dublin. It's won back by Izzy Davis. Izzy Davis going for a shot. It's going to be very, very close. Izzy Davis puts the ball over the bar. I dared to doubt her as an attacker earlier on. That's as good a score as we've seen today.
Yeah, and I think from a Dublin point of view, the fact that they won it from one of Clare's sharp puckouts, turned it over really, really well. Super pressure on Aoife Keane here at wing back that really made that score for Izzy Davis. It was a super score again when it came, much like Jodie Couch's one, from a little bit of an angle, but as I said, because they turned over that Clare puckout, I think it was a massive score for our Dublin.
It's 8 to 7 points, but Dublin are making a change where Kerry Finnegan was a player who was probably surprised didn't start the game. She's come off the bench in the previous 3 matches. She's come off the bench again now, replacing Elise Jemison Murphy, and she's well capable of getting scores. Indeed, Kerry Finnegan has scored 3 points in the championship so far, and will fancy her chances of adding to that tally. There's 4 points between the teams. We've 8.5 minutes of normal time remaining. There will be a bit of added time, plenty of time still for Clare as Emer Kelly tries to send the ball down in towards Niamh Nivo D in towards the attack. Nivo D and Chloe Morey, the inside line for Clare, but it's Roisin Baker who's played midfield before with the ball. She gets blocked out by Nivo D, and Ava Mooney had to be alert. They're calling for a penalty for Clare. The referee is saying it's a free out, a tangle between Nivo D and Roisin Baker. Neve's not happy. Roisin is free out Dublin.
Yeah, and I can't understand that one. I'm just looking again. Yeah, might not have given the penalty, but I'm not sure what the free out was for. I certainly think the block from Nivo D was a super block on the Dublin goalkeeper and gave herself a real chance. And I think the Dublin defence were well aware of the opportunity that was there. And look, as I said, it probably mightn't have given the penalty, but I'm not sure what the free out was for.
It's a big call. Play restarts again, and Emma Flanagan with the ball, sending it down the left in the direction of Leah Butler. Leah Butler shakes off the attentions of Caoimhe Carmody, gives the pass in the direction of Izzy Davis. It doesn't get there, but it comes for Jodie Couch. Jodie Couch again. Both teams running into bodies the whole time. The referee is suggesting a throw. It's going to be a free for Clare anyway, and now Jodie Couch is giving the eyes of the official. Bjorn Scanlon walks away, and looks like Clare here is going to take this free.
Yeah, look, and I think Jodie Couch probably had a claim for maybe a high hurl just before that, but certainly as she came under pressure, John Darmody seemed under no illusion that she did throw that ball. So look, Clare here now with the wind behind her, you'd imagine will head for the post and try and make at least Nivo D or Chloe Morey on the edge of the square if she doesn't make the distance.
Another big moment in the game possibly as Clare here sends the ball down towards the inside attackers as well. Can somebody take responsibility and take the ball? One of them is Nivo D. She has the ball but snatched on it, and it goes the wrong side of the post. It goes to the right and wide, and it was just hit with instinct there. Dublin again not wasting time. Great to see in the modern game. Cliona Nicoletti on the move now towards the 65 metre line, drives it down towards the attack, looking for Aisling O'Neill. Aisling O'Neill, their goal, the main difference between the teams. She's at a few points as well. Dublin lead by 4. She holds the ball inside the 45 metre line. A teasy ball that might fall for Kerry Finnegan. Doreen Murphy was never going to learn near that. The hurl came out there. The referee spots the foul. It's going to be a free out for Clare, and play as we started straight away. Elaine, I thought for a moment there he's going to stop the action, but Clare are clearing it.
Yeah, look, and Doreen Murphy rightly able to take her own free once you're fouled inside the 45. That new rule, along with the quick puck outs, are really adding to the game today, and it's getting the ball back into play quickly time and time again, and it's setting both Dublin and Clare up on the attack.
Emma Flanagan has won a free for Dublin, and she is just tying her laces at the moment. She's okay. Looks like Lorna McNamara is going to go into the book, and she'll be the first yellow card for Clare in this match. Dublin had 4 yellow cards in the first half. They still lead by 4. A substitution being made. Aoife Power from Scariff Gunno is coming on the field of play for Clare as well. Looks like she's coming on for Sian Spillane. The changes are coming. 5.5 minutes of normal time remaining, and the fresh legs needed now to drive this home for one of these teams.
Yeah, certainly, and as you said, it's still that Aisling O'Neill goal between the sides that really is the difference, and you just feel if Clare are going to get back into this, that they're going to need to get a score, probably a goal. They don't seem to be able to get the points, so you'd imagine a goal is what they're going to need.
Emma Flanagan has just given the ball away to Emer Kelly, who intercepted the attempted pass. The wind might have helped as well, but either way Emer Kelly has possession. She hasn't gone too far with it since. Sent it down towards Aoife Power, who's just come on the field of play. Aoife Power taking on Cliona Nicoletti, and Aoife Power gets past her now and moves towards the 20 metre line. Again the Dublin defender staying with her, and did enough for Hannah Hegarty to be there to take the break, and Dublin will bring the ball out again towards the 45 metre line, but Clare getting the bodies back. Both sides working very hard in this game. Emer Kelly nearly getting another interception, not to be in this occasion. Dublin have the ball in the middle of the field. Again the sun just gone away for the moment, a bit in dark but not too dark here in Cusack Park, and then as Aoife Keane goes up against Kerry Finnegan. Who's going to win this ball could be vital in determining the result of this match. Izzy Davis is there as well. Nobody's going to win the ball, says John Dermody. He is going to throw this in as Dublin are getting within range of the goal. Just over 4 minutes of normal time remaining. Aisling Maher has the white brace on the knee, the white runners, the white helmet, but can it be alright for Dublin at the end? Gabby Couch has possession, gives the pass off for Kerry Finnegan. Kerry Finnegan is a player outside her. That player is Leah Butler. Leah Butler with a chance to be a hero in Dublin. Shot, and it's gone over the bar. She thought about going low, but she puts the ball over the bar and puts 5 points between the teams, 19-7.
Yeah, and that's been the real difference I think for Dublin now in this second half. They've got other scorers on the board. They've been overly dependent probably on Aisling Maher and Aisling O'Neill in that first half. Since then we've had Izzy Davis, Jodie Couch and now Leah Butler get on the score sheet, while on the opposition side Clare still depending on Lorna McNamara from frees and Emer Kelly with her 2 from play. They haven't really got anyone else into this game, and look, Dublin starting to run the bench now, and they would look to maybe have the stronger bench to see this game out.
Izzy Davis has gone off there. Aoife Walsh from Nave Jude, the player that's come on for Dublin. They lead by 5 points, and Clare needs scores quickly if they're going to save this game. And Clare Hare got a goal against Cork. Clare Hare is through for Clare shot. A goal! A goal for Clare, and just like that, she's done it again. Coming up the field, ball's in the back of the net, and all of a sudden it's a 2-point ball game.
Yeah, and suddenly you're turning around to see where did Clare Hare come from. She was at centre back last I saw her, and suddenly pops up on the end of that super run. But again, it was Emer Kelly with massive work rate for Clare out around the middle of the field. Her pass in found Clare Hare, and as we saw in Cork down in Parky Ring, she makes no mistake when she gets up there.
2 goals for the alleged full-back in the Clare team this year. It's 1-7 to Clare, 1-9 to Dublin. Dublin need to respond straight away as Aoife Walsh has the ball. We're in for a grandstand finish here in Cusack Park in Ennis, but Aoife Walsh needs support. It comes what I thought it was going to come from Aisling O'Neill. They pass over hit. It's going to be a Clare ball. The momentum is with the banner now. Can they make it count?
Yeah, that's a real momentum changer. You know, the goal at one end forced the turnover and the line ball. You know, an unforced error from Dublin there when they really needed just a little bit of composure, and it gives Clare lifeline now.
I'd been taking just a moment to go, Elena, but asking you about the Glen Dimplex player of the match. We might hold off on that for just another few minutes. It's all to play for here as Muireann Keller gives the ball up in the direction of Leah Butler. Leah Butler got a point a moment ago that we thought was the match winner. She's still pushing forward there as well, being well marked by Orla Duggan. Orla Duggan in defence, but now it's Aisling O'Neill. Aisling O'Neill's Leah Butler again, but it's going to go herself, go for the shot. It goes to the right and wide. She probably should have played it off to the number 8. Clare not wasting any time, and again it's Clare Hare, the goal scorer, back in the full-back position, sends it out in the direction of Ciara Grogan. Ciara Grogan and keeping it in play. Clare know there's time here because we're going to have plenty of injury time. You would feel 90 seconds of normal time with a long ball down in towards the attack, but it's cut out on that occasion by Clare Gannon, and Clare Gannon now going to help it up towards the 45-metre line. Gabby Couch is there to help out as well. Dublin just want to get the ball away from their own goal and move it up towards the 65. Gabby Couch turns around, gives it back to Clare Gannon. Clare Gannon drives it down the field, down the right, but it's only Clare jerseys there as well. Lots of Clare were saying in that sentence. Aoife Keane with the ball towards the 65-metre line, and won on this occasion by Lorna McNamara. Lorna McNamara the ball down, with an attempted ball down, but a good block by Leah Butler. She's having a big say in the closing stages of this match. Alana Ryan is there as well. 2 players tangled with each other, but it's Lorna McNamara with the ball trying to get around. The Dublin player goes back in the direction of Emer Kelly, and Emer Kelly will drive it again down towards the attack where they're looking for Niamh O'D to get in this. It gets away from both herself and Muireann Scanlon, but Ava Mooney can't be left on her own there, but Clare players around her. Gives the pass off for Emma Flanagan. Emma Flanagan on the 20-metre line, out towards Cliona Nicoletti, out the far side of the field, inside the 45-metre line. The clock continues to tick away. 30 seconds of normal time remaining. How much at a time will we have? We'll keep an eye on the linesman to see if he indicates to us. Muireann Kelleher with the ball, gets it inside the 65-metre line, cut out by Clare, and Clare Hare moving it up the field again. Aisling O'Neill was there, but this is Emer Kelly. Emer Kelly with a shot for Clare. Can she bring it back to a 1-point ball game? And it is gone over the bar. He kept us waiting there, but Emer Kelly gets the point. We have the score for Clare, 1-8 to 1-9. This is perfectly set up.
Absolutely massive score from Emer Kelly there. Yeah, and John Jarmy just calling the play back to give himself a chance, I suppose, to get the score written down into the scoreboard. Can't restart, obviously, from a score, but a massive puck out now from Dublin, and you think Clare just need to push up and put pressure on the Dublin puck out and see if they can force another opportunity.
You can see the Clare management are starting to get animated as well. They want Clare to stop these short puck outs. Roisin Baker drops the ball. Muireann Scanlon in, applying the pressure as well, but the Dublin number 2 holds onto the ball, gives the pass. They're looking for throws, and they're jumping all over the place in front of us here. As I mentioned earlier on, a lot to keep an eye on, but this is Gabby Couch. Gabby Couch takes the challenge from Aoife Keane, stepped out over the line, says the linesman, and it's going to be a Clare ball. And we have played a minute of injury time, and now there's rival members of management team having words with each other, but we'll focus on Alana Ryan, who is going to take this, and just the Clare management told to go back to their position as well. And we don't want anything unsavoury happening now here, Elaine, because Alana Ryan could really set this up for what a finish.
Yeah, I think it was just a couple of friendly words about whose sideline that might have been there, but it was a huge, as I said, a hugely contested puck out. It needed to be won, and I think Dublin probably win it back now with the free from the poor sideline.
Jodie Couch doing well there to win this free. Looking at Aisling Gannon in front of me, she'll be entering the play shortly, and Emer Kelly is leaving the ball down there, showing a bit. There's two slayers on the field to play at the moment, but anyway, Aisling Gannon is coming on the field to play, and she's coming on for Leah Butler. So Leah Butler going up, but it's Aisling Maher getting a choice of slitters at the moment, and like a tennis player, I think that's the second time I put a tennis reference with Aisling Maher in this game, but either way, she's picked her slitter, looking for a score that could be enough, because if they can go 2 up, it's about avoiding conceding a goal, but you still get the feeling there's plenty of time for Clare. Aisling O'Neill wants to make it happen for Dublin, goes for the shot. That ball is going to go to the left and wide. It remains a 1 point ball game, and Clare going for the short puck out. Eva Keane taking possession, gets over at the opposing player, but they've given it away. Eva Walsh has won the ball back for Dublin on the left. Player in front is Aisling O'Neill. Aisling O'Neill trying to get inside, has Kerry Finnegan in there. Can she get the opportunity to get the score that could win this for Dublin? The Clare defence are defending with their lives. Kerry Finnegan gets the shot in, but only into the goalkeeper Duran Murphy, and Duran Murphy will get the ball down the field again as the Dublin defence now feel the pressure there, as Lorna McNamara trying to get around Emma Flanagan. Muireann Keller back to help out as well. We have played 62 minutes and 40 seconds, and Muireann Keller shaking off arms, shaking off anything, gives it to Gabby Couch, and Dublin still there, and Clare just putting the bodies away, trying to stop the Dublin player going, and it worked. Good work by Muireann Scanlon, that has to be said. Emer Kelly, I wonder would somebody fancy a sideline cut here?
I'm not sure. Looking at Emer Kelly, she looks to be looking for a runner around, but Clare just need to be a little bit composed on it, make this work for them. They fluffed the last one, but they seem to be in possession of this now, and they need to get a score.
Orla Duggan goes to the ground, wins the free. She wins the free, and a chance for Clare to level this match. I've told you about the permutations about Clare winning and Dublin winning. I haven't really gone through them with a draw, but we'll do that at the end of this game. But it's a free in for Clare, and Lorna McNamara, we're going to have a hold up in a moment. There's a player on the ground. I think it's a Dublin player on the ground as well, so plenty of suspense to continue building up to this finish.
Yeah, and I think, is it Aisling Maher is down again? I just think, is it the knee bandage I saw down on the ground there maybe? But as I said, yeah, concern certainly for Dublin with her. If it is an injury, she has picked up, but again, what a move from Clare. Look to maybe have fluffed the sideline again, but pure grit and determination to win it back, and found themselves now with a free. Probably the easier, without putting a commentator's curse on Lorna McNamara, but probably the easier of the ones that she's had in this second half. And look, if there's to be a play from it, the next puck out is going to be absolutely massive.
Yes, 4 minutes of added time have been played, and we've had a lot of stops now, so again you would feel, but it's all down to the referee John Dermody how much time is going to be played. Can Lorna McNamara level this match in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship and give her team a fighting chance of staying in the competition? They might need another score, but even 1 point is better than none. Lorna McNamara with the free for Clare. That's gone over the bar from my angle. It goes over the bar. It's level here. It's 1-9 apiece. How much more time are we going to have in this game? We're definitely going to have some time, because Ava Mooney is taking the puck out and sends it out in the direction of Cliona Nicoletti. Cliona Nicoletti moving towards the 65-metre line. Can somebody take this game here, trying to find Kerry Finnegan down the field? But it's won back by Clare. Clare trailed this game by 5 points only a few minutes ago. Can they create the opportunity now? Not if Clare Gannon has anything to say about it, and she's battling with Lorna McNamara. There to help out as well as Emma O'Byrne. Emma O'Byrne takes the challenge, moves out towards the left, sends it down the field, but the referee spotted the chop down. It's going to be a free for Dublin. They don't want to settle for a draw either. Nobody wants to settle here, and Emma Flanagan will restart the action.
Yeah, and you're just looking to see where Aisling Maher is on the, and actually I think she's coming to take this one from Emma Flanagan, so huge distance. You'd imagine against the wind she's not going to score it, but you just wonder how much time is left to play.
5.5 minutes of injury time have been played. It's Clare 1-9. It's Dublin 1-9. And it's Aisling Maher to take this free for Dublin inside the 45-metre line, sending it down in towards the attack, but it's won by Alana Ryan. She has possession of the ball, gives the hand pass back. The hand pass back to Caoimhe Kelly, and Caoimhe Kelly will send it down the field again. The referee has blown the final whistle. It's all over, and it's finished in a draw match here in Cusick Park in Ennis. We'll try and work out the permutations in a moment, as nobody's happy with the decision. Alana Ryan is on the ball, and there'll be a bit of afters here. But Elaine, first, your overall thoughts in this game?
Yeah, I'm not sure mine are going to be as passionate as some of the players out there on the field, but just initially from that free from Aisling Maher, what a take from Alana Ryan back in her own half back line under pressure, super take out of the sky, and you know, a real match winning catch from her. Look, it was a game that ebbed and flowed, and you'd have to say Clare stayed in it the whole way. They never gave up the fight, and they carried it right to the end. And look, I thought Emer Kelly was immense for them and had a big say in Clare O'Hare's goal, but what a goal it was to get them back in it. You know, we had a superb one from Aisling O'Neill. Both teams, I think, will probably look back on it and regret a couple of missed chances, but certainly I think both teams feel that maybe they've left this one behind them.
Yeah, and I think officially it'll mean Clare will be out of the championship as well. Just looking at the table quickly, Cork on 9 points, Waterford 6. They're currently playing in Walsh Park. They'll be the top two at the end of the day. Dublin and Tipperary have 5 points each. Wexford have 3, Clare have 2, and while Clare are only 3 points behind third place, the fact that Dublin are playing Wexford next week, one of them will be up to 6 at least. So it looks like Clare are definitely out of the championship as well. A massive blow for them, but they really rallied back in the closing stages.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, as you said, they're probably working out the permutations as it is, and look, if it is a point, it's only their second point to add to it all. So look, they'll be disappointed in that, given the championship they've had, the performances that they've had to finish with just 2 draws, I suppose, will be disappointing. But look, they finished that game strongly. They put a massive effort in there in the last, but I suppose they'll look back on particularly maybe that first half and the concession of those scores coming up to half time, and in particular that Aisling O'Neill goal. But look, from a Dublin point of view, they'll look at some of their missed chances as well. You know, they defend it well throughout, but just that couple of chances and a brief lapse in concentration. As I said, Clare Hare popped up suddenly from centre back up to full forward, got on the end of that run, and it was a super goal, and really Clare drove on from there, and Dublin just seemed to lose their shape a little bit, and I certainly think they'll feel like they played most of the Camogie in that game and only came away with the point.
Yeah, both teams feel like they've lost this at the moment as well. We'll have more talk about in a few minutes, but Elaine, before we take a quick break here, the players that impressed you for both teams and your overall Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Player of the Match.
Yeah, look, it swung there, certainly coming near the end from side to side, I suppose. From a Dublin point of view, Eva Mooney stood really strong in the goal. Eva O'Brien, till she went off injured, was really outstanding in that full back line, and coped admirably with the task of Clare, or Chloe Morey in there beside her up front. Look, I suppose Leah Butler really came into the game maybe when Evo D moved off her into that full forward line. She had been given the role of following her around the field for most of that first half. She came into her own then when Evo D moved off her, and up front, look, Aisling Maher and Aisling O'Neill were the two standout performers, ably assisted then by Jodie Couch and Izzy Davis when they got on the scoreboard. From a Clare point of view, look, Clare Hare was outstanding throughout at centre back. She covered between centre back and full back, and she seemed to be always the magnet that the Dublin clearances found, and got her hand to a lot of ball and drove a lot of ball up. Nevo D massive around the middle of the field again until she moved into that full forward line injured, and up front Lorna McNamara never gave up. Orla Duggan chased everything down, but for me, I just thought Emer Kelly was outstanding throughout. You know, finished with 3 points in the second half, but really just her work rate throughout. She drove forward time and time again, was blown once or twice for over carrying, but I think that just shows the possession she was on, the amount of ball she had, and ultimately she sent in that ball that set up Clare Hare's goal. So for me, over the course of the year, I thought Emer Kelly was a standout player from a Clare point of view.
So Clare's number 11, Emer Kelly, is the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Player of the Match. We'll get reaction from herself and from both camps in a couple of moments, and myself and Elaine will finish going through what all this means in regards to the group. So don't go away, we'll be back in about 5 minutes time with reaction. But as you can see in the top right of your screen, it's finished in a draw, but it doesn't feel like a draw for Clare. It finished Clare 1-9, Dublin 1-9. Thank you very much and welcome back here to Cusick Park in Ennis at the end of Clare against Dublin. We're joined by the player of the match, Emer Kelly from Clare. Which is beforehand, we'll just make a presentation first to Emer. There was Elaine. Emer, we won't keep you too long. I can just imagine, because we've done the permutations ourselves up there, it's just, you're absolutely gutted in there.
Yeah, just a very hard championship and just sick now, to be honest.
I can imagine so as well, because even in the closing stages for Clare, when you rallied back into the game, when Dublin went 5 Clare, a lot of people would have thought that was it, but this Clare team never give up as well. All of a sudden you're down the field, you're setting up Clare here for a goal. You got 3 points yourself in the second half and you fought till the very end.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of all of our girls. Obviously, it's incredibly hard at this time of the summer to actually be putting it up week in week, and fair play to Dublin, they were excellent as well, and it was such a battle. And in terms of Camogie, I think our group, the way it was laid out at the start, was so exciting for every single team that was in it, and I think that side of it has been brilliant, but at the same time at times it takes its toll, and where there's a lot of hurt on the bodies and inside as well, and a couple of tough calls, if I'm being honest, there today as well, and it's a very hard one to take.
It is too, it's that type of tough group the whole way through. But even there today, with both teams going at it the whole way through as well, you mentioned some decisions because vary one way or the other as well. But you're fighting hard at both teams till the very end to try and get something out of this.
Yeah, look, and aside from the decisions, just tooth and nail, and it's everything seems to be coming down to a draw. I know Tip won by a point today, and I suppose all I can say is in terms of Camogie is the winner this year in the group, in terms of standards and keeping the matches close and keeping it as spectators coming. But yeah, I'm absolutely gutted, to be honest.
Of course, while Clare might be in the quarter-final this year now as well, you still have to make sure you don't finish bottom of this group as well. It's tough. It is a big match again next week, so as difficult as it is now, no doubt you'll pick yourselves up during the week.
Yeah, highs and lows of it. It's mad the way the emotions go with the weeks and the results, that the impact that has, but there'll be no fear of us. We'll regroup now for 2 weeks, put the heads down, and if anything, we're always very proud to put on the Clare jersey. I certainly am, and I know everyone inside is, so there'll be no fear of us. We'll come out fighting again the next day and give Waterford one hell of a go.
You've been a big part of 2022. I know today is disappointing, but Emer, you are the player of the match. Thanks a million.
Thank you very much.
So as our player of the match, Emer Kelly from Clare, and we might be getting the Dublin manager Adrian O'Sullivan in just a moment there as well, and we'll of course it's finished here 1-9 apiece, and Adrian O'Sullivan, the Dublin Camogie manager, is joining us here, and I'll just go over this side here for the camera. Adrian, your overall assessment of that game?
I think it's a little bit early for an overall assessment. It was a game we were probably in control of and should have won, and it was a game we hung on for dear life to get a point out of, so yeah, I think it's a little bit too soon after the game to go for an overall assessment. It was kind of one of those manic games where it lost all its shape, and we tried our best to control it, but ultimately Clare stuck to the task. They're a savage outfit, and they clawed it back and got the draw out of it in the end. But yeah, maybe when we look back at it, we were disappointed. Maybe we should have held on for the win, but it's a little bit too early to say yet. But yeah.
Yeah, it'd be disappointing. Even we said in the commentary box, nobody feels like they've gained a point out of this game, even though it's a point apiece. But your team are 5 points up as well when Leah Butler got the score as well, and you would have expected them to finish it out as well. And as you mentioned, you still got a very, very important point in the overall scheme of things, but you feel you have 2 behind.
No, geez, look, I suppose we're walking out still in the championship, and they're walking out gone. So that's the crucial difference, I suppose. We have to go down to Wexford now, and Wexford have been in great form lately. They're flying, and look, I suppose we'll be underdogs again, as we've been in every single game. We just have to try and rally the troops now for the next 2 weeks. And look, if you had said to me at the start, the group is so hard, you can see from the results there, everybody beat everybody. If you had said to me at the start we'd be walking out of Cusick Park with our fate in our own hands to get that quarter final for the last game, I'd have snapped your hand off. So look, we'll take the positives out of it. Were we brilliant? No. Did we battle really hard? Yeah. Look, we know we'll always get that out of them. They're a savage group. They always give absolutely everything for the jersey. But I suppose you'll have to ask me in 3 or 4 days' time whether we should have won or not. It's nearly too chaotic to decide now, really, to be honest. Yeah.
You mentioned Wexford, and of course one thing this result has done is keeps Wexford in the championship, and they're going to be buoyed for that match in 2 weeks.
Yeah, look, Kevin has done a savage job at Wexford. They were in a real bad state when he took them over, and he's got them up into Division 1, and they're in the quarter final last year, and they're going down to Belfield or Wexford Park, wherever it is. It's not going to be an easy task, but we've actually played some of our best stuff on the road this year. We won in Waterford, we drew in Clare. There's deadly heart in them, so look, we won't shy away from the challenge. We'll be up for it, and that should be a cracker. Yeah, it's winner takes all, isn't it?
This is a battle out there for both teams, committed, determined to get a result. Eve O'Brien went off, Aisling Maher was through the wars. Any update?
No, I'd say you'll have to ask him in a couple of days' time now. We'll give him 24 hours off, and we'll regroup in the gym on Monday, and we'll see what way the niggles and the belts are. But look, the way Camogie's gone, the way it's refereed, you're always going to be having the niggles and the bruises after the game. You know, it's gone very physical, as you can see there. So look, it's nothing we're not used to. We'll dust ourselves down, we'll regroup, and we'll go again in 2 weeks' time.
We'll finish on a positive note. We have to give a shout out to Aisling O'Neill, that goal in the first half, an absolutely superb, beautiful strike.
Yeah, look, I'd like to thank Ash for taking time out from studying for her leaving cert to come and play with us today. It was very nice of her. I think we'd have been in a bit of bother without her, but yeah, she's a savage kid, 18 years of age. Like, she's I presume the all-star selectors have been watching her games. She's an absolute shoe-in for a nomination, Joe. She's been absolutely brilliant for us, best player in the field. And as I said, when she grows up, she'll be some player.
Yeah, well, she's 1-9 from play at the moment anyway, by my notes, Adrian. Yeah. Thanks a million. Hard luck at not getting the victory, but an important point nonetheless.
Yeah, thank you.
That was the Dublin senior Camogie manager, Adrian O'Sullivan. We're going to have a quick word with the Clare joint manager, Conor Dolan. And Conor, as I've been saying to Emer Kelly as well there too, and even to Adrian O'Sullivan, but especially in the Clare side of things, that doesn't feel like a draw match because Clare out at the championship.
Yeah, look, unfortunately, we knew at the start of the year, like after the draw was made, there was going to be very little between the teams. Look, unfortunately, we've 4 games played, we haven't won a game. If you don't win games, look, you aren't going to progress, unfortunately. But look, there's 3 games. Okay, Cork bet us well. The 5th minute stoppage time, Wexford got the winner against us, and we've had 2 draws. I can't fault the character that's in that team. Like, there's great character there. A small little bit of luck needed along the way, and look, it could have been a different story. But look, it's a learning curve. Nothing but proud about what the girls have put in for the year. They've given absolutely everything they have. Yes, we're working with a small squad. There was 14 girls that opted out of the panel from last year's senior panel, which is a massive gap to try and fill. And look, we're working away with the junior team there now as well at the minute. Those girls, look, they will be senior players, but they're not senior ready at the minute. And we need to blood those girls for the better of Clare Camogie going forward, because it's been thrown at us a small bit by local media as well. Why are we sticking with 17, 18 players? But those girls just aren't ready for senior hurling. So then it's like a bit of an education with the junior, hopefully intermediate next year, and then they'll eventually take that step up.
It's an encouraging sign for the future, Clare Camogie. Even earlier on, you beat Waterford in the Premier Junior Championship as well, so they'll get their opportunity to continue their year on as well. And that's what you're touching on there, Conor, is that you want to bring these players through to have a strong Clare side in a couple of years.
Look, there's no one more gutted today than I am. I really thought we were going places. I still think we are, being honest about it. But look, the fixtures, and look, I'm probably going to sound like I'm using excuses here for not coming out of the group, but to have this our 7th game, in the space of 7 weeks. Like, why are we trying to cram in so many matches into a short period of time? We played a couple of league games. There was 3-week gaps between every league match. But next thing, come championship, they want to try and squeeze it all into a small little window. Look, when you're working with a small squad like we are, it isn't going to help. But look, that's obviously not up to us.
No, but it's a fair, like 7 games in 8 weeks. It still take its toll regardless what way fixtures are done.
Like, even look, the girls gave everything there today. Look, it was far from a great game, but in fairness to them, they went out, they gave everything. Yes, we rested them up over the last 2 weeks, but look, their bodies are they're shattered. Like, it doesn't happen in the senior inter-county. There's 2 weeks between nearly every game. Why can't the Camogie see the light and kind of row in a small little bit more with it? Like, even going on, having a double header here today, and our county senior hurlers playing in Thurles. Like, and there's nothing being played tomorrow. Like, this is a home crowd. We played Mayo in the junior game here 3 or 4 weeks ago. There was 10,000 people in for that game who really enjoyed that junior game. We could have had, I'm not saying we'll have 10,000 here, but you would have had a hell of a lot more crowd. And we're trying to promote the game. This isn't promoted.
Yeah, the Clare support was always going to be split today when you had the 2 games.
It's not even split, Darren. It's like, and it's until the time Camogie's taking that bit more serious. And in fairness to the Munster Council this year, they put on an awful lot of games. We were lucky to play before Cork and the Clare and Cork game. We got to play before Tip and Limerick inside the Gaelic grounds as well. That's promoting it. But next thing, all of a sudden, we want to try and cram it in. We start pushing out fixture clashes. Like that's not promoting the game of Camogie.
That's definitely something for fixtures to look at going forward as well, and it's a very, very valid point, Conor. You mentioned Hart there at the end of this game as well, and you certainly showed it. 5 points down, it was easy to throw in the towel. Clare here again, just like she did in Porky Rin, storming up the field. Emer Kelly involved, of course, to get a goal to put you right back in this match.
Yeah, look, Clare is an out-and-out captain. She really leads from the front. Look, the way she conducts herself in training, she's just so professional about everything she does, as with the rest of the girls. But look, she's just a natural leader. She really, when the game is there to be taken by the scruff of the neck, she is always the one that puts up her hand to drive on the players around her.
As disappointed as they are now, last team are the same thing. In 2 weeks' time, there's still a big job against Waterford, because you want to make sure you don't go into that relegation playoff.
Bottom line, we have to come all guns blazing here in 2 weeks' time against Waterford. Look, it's probably the last thing you want to do is go into a relegation playoff. It becomes a total 50-50 battle then after that. Anything could happen in a relegation game like that. So we just make sure our house is in order and we hit the ground running in 2 weeks' time.
That's the focus now, but hard luck again today, Conor. But you call it a real gripping contest it was, and it's no consolation at the end.
Thanks, sir.
That was Conor Dolan, the Clare joint Camogie manager, talking to me there as well. And of course we heard from Adrian O'Sullivan too, and the player of the match, Emer Kelly, and back with Elaine Aylwood. And Elaine, 3 different versions of what we saw here today, and a lot to take into it as well. This game meant so much to both teams.
Yeah, look, and I think it showed that for a lot of the first half. Look, I think it was a nervy opening first half from both teams, and look, when it comes down to the wire like that in a draw, you look back on that first half and probably think there was more they could have gotten out of it, but it certainly opened up in that second half. And as you said, both of them kicked into life as if they knew it was there for the taking, and credit to Clare. Look, it looked to be gone from them on a couple of occasions, but they fought back just as they did in Porky Ring the day against Cork when it was gone from them again. And look, that never say die attitude is something that you want in every team. It can't be instilled in them, but it's obviously built into that Clare team. But just really, really disappointing, I suppose, from both managers, maybe not to come away with more. It does feel like both of them left a game behind them and left 3 points rather than gained 1.
Conor mentioned the heart with Clare, like all the games they had played, they kept going to the final whistle. We thought this was done and dusted when Dublin were 5 points up as well, but they battled back to get something out of it. And no doubt to be very a lot of supporters from Wexford now, because that result keeps Wexford in the championship. Yeah,
absolutely. Look, and from a Waterford point of view, I suppose you'd be taking nothing for granted coming here in the last game. That kind of heart is what keeps teams out of relegation battles, and if that's what Clare have to fight for on the last day, you can be sure there'll be nothing to give me for Waterford coming here on that last day. So look, as I said, that's something you can't put into a team. That kind of heart and determination is there, and look, there's obviously a bit of hurt there with fixtures and with everything else there, and look, that can rally a team too, and I'm sure the lads will use whatever they can to rally Clare now for 2 weeks' time.
We talked about the pressure on Dublin because there was a lot at stake for them here today. They're still in the championship as well. Adrian O'Sullivan talks about being underdogs going to Wexford. They still have their fate in their own hands though, but likewise now it makes a big cup final feel again in 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, look, Adrian probably talks about being underdogs going everywhere, so I wouldn't pay too much heed to that kind of talk. But yeah, certainly, look, I suppose they'll be disappointed. They came in here in 3rd position. They'd gotten big wins, they had a big performance against Cork the last day out. They would have been, they mightn't have admitted it, but they would have been confident coming down here today of getting a result. And look, for a lot of that second half, they looked like they had done enough to do that. I suppose they'll be disappointed with their game management, that they didn't manage to see it out, that I suppose that lapse in concentration allowed Clare here to pop up on the edge of their square and to get that goal, and that they couldn't just respond to it. I suppose a little bit over dependent on Aisling Maher and Aisling O'Neill in that first half for scores. They did get a few more scores on the score sheet in the second half, but I suppose it came at the cost of maybe closing down on their defence. So look, plenty to work on for that 2 weeks' time, but as you said, look, it's going to be a real do or die battle for them down there in Wexford, and the fact that they're on the road probably gives Wexford probably gives Dublin a bit more of a hill to climb.
It was two teams not willing to relent. There was big moments in the match. There was stop-start moments in the game as well. As neutrals, it was another compelling chapter in a group that just keeps on giving.
Yeah, look, I think we're going to look back on Group 1. Maybe when the draw was made at the start of the year, we thought, look, probably a little bit of predictability, but a lot of teams fighting for that 3rd spot, and as it turns out, it's been nip and tuck. It's been teams fighting for 2nd and 3rd all the way throughout, and teams starting to stay out of relegation and going from being in relegation to being in championship position. So it's been a massive group, and look, the way draws have gone, the way scores have gone, you couldn't have predicted against the draw here today, but it has been a really exciting group. And I think Emer Kelly put it best when she said, look, Camogie has been the real winner in Group 1 this year. The results have been just outstanding, and as I said before, anyone could beat anyone on any given day, so we're going into the last round of games with it all to play for.
all to play for as well, and in 2 weeks' time we'll be telling another story. And that, of course, we don't have the results of Cork and Waterford at the moment, but the result guarantees that Cork are going to be in the top three regardless. Waterford are going to be at least second at the end of the day. Dublin, Wexford, Tipperary all to fight for in a couple of weeks' time. We can't wait, and of course we've more Camogie next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, who could have predicted it even at the start of today? Look, Tip seemed to be on a bit of a downward spiral, and it was hard to see them getting a result down in Wexford. Wexford have had a topsy-turvy year, and yet both of them still find themselves in the championship this evening. So look, I think there'll be a massive games to be had in this group in 2 weeks' time, and as you said, massive round in Group 2 next weekend as well. And look, when they see how Group 1 is going, they'll know there's nothing going to be taken for granted when they come out of that group, whoever does come out of it. And similarly, whoever is on the bottom of that group is going to face a huge relegation battle as well. So look, everything's still to play for with a round and a half left to play.
A round and a half left to play. We can't wait. That was Elaine Aylward, my co-commentator in the commentary box today. And of course, in 2 weeks' time, we look forward to finishing Group 1. But as we mentioned, next week, 3 big games taking place, and we'll be somewhere. Antrim against Galway, Limerick against Down, Kilkenny against Offaly. A lot of decisions to be made in Group 2 as well. We hope you enjoyed our coverage here in the Camogie Association YouTube channel, brought to you in association with Entry. I'd like to thank David, Owen and Luke for producing there today. I'm Darren Kelly. This was Elaine Aylward. Another compelling contest. It finished in a draw, but nobody feels like a winner here in Cusack Park today in regards to the table. Dublin are still in the championship, Clare or not. Finished here in Cusack Park in Ennis in the Glen Dimplex All-Ireland Senior Camogie Championship. Clare 1-9, Dublin 1-9.